Hey, 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 hold on, everybody. Sorry about that. What's up, everybody? What's going on? Let me go back up to the top. I know Andrea was in here. Queen Lady T. Hey, Red X. What's going on, babe? Red X, there has got to be another way for us to communicate. Hey, T. Hey, Sarkonis. What's going on, baby? What's up, Black Sheep? Hey, Donja. How you doing, love? Hey, Miss Tabitha. How you doing, babe? Tell Mr. Abraham I said good evening. Auntie Turner, what's going on, babe? Oh, Sheila, what's going on? Oh, oh, Sheila. I know that's right. Connect dot, yes, ma'am. What's going on, babe? We have to listen, we have to have a better way. No, I don't. Hey, Pam C. Hey, Gentilio, what's going on, babe? God bless you too, baby. Yeah, please remember to keep Tanari, our moderator, in prayer. I haven't heard from her today, but I will be calling her once this live is over to find out, the status of her grandmother right now. So just please continue to keep her in prayer, y'all. We are at a time right now when different things that are going on because of the pandemic has just escalated everything. Okay. And what's up, Onyx? Which tonight we were going to talk about domestic violence. Give me your phone number, T. What's up, Anthony? What's going on, babe? Listen, it's 44 people in here. Anthony, tell me now. So it's some people that treat me like I'm the help. You going back to the class, oh Sheila? Okay, baby. So there's some people in the house that didn't ring my doorbell and that walked right past me like I was the help. Okay, you speak to me of that. Okay. Y'all, please thumbs up the video. Okay, team. I will. So hey, what's going on, baby? So tonight we are gonna talk about hey Shish Trish, how you doing, boo? So tonight we are gonna talk about domestic violence. Now, hey guys, it's love, what's going on, baby? You did? Thank you. Yeah. Mm-mm-mm. Everything is, let me tell y'all something. With this pandemic going on, domestic violence at this point is at an all-time high, right? We know that every 21 hours, a black woman is murdered. by her significant other, maybe by her well, yeah, I'll say significant other. And last night we had started talking about, my story, which, that was attempted murder. But at the end of the day, it was a one-time incident. There was nothing leading up. Thank you, Nefertiti. There was nothing leading up to, there were no red flags. There was no kind of verbal abuse, no kind of physical abuse, nothing. It was it was very random. That's what it was. That's what happened to me. But many women out here are not, they do get the signs. They are going with hey Q Bay. Hey K Trey, what's going on, boo? I understand, boo. I understand, Kate. Don't worry about it. I understand, boo. I'm dealing with the increase of domestic. Oh, it hurts my heart. Yeah, I'm sure it does. And a lot of times when you're dealing with the issue and being in a relationship and you are going through domestic violence, whether it's verbal or physical, it plays on your mental. Both of them do. So actually, you're going through all three at the same time. You understand what I'm saying? And I can't understand why. Well, I guess I can understand. I can understand why so many people stay in the relationships. I can understand why so many people, even, especially if there's children involved, especially if they're just afraid to leave. You know what I'm saying? They maybe have nowhere else to go. You stay because you have to. You stay and you take it, because that's the only thing that at this point, and you have nothing else lined up. So I clearly understand that part. But a lot of times there are a lot of us that have sacrificed our lives because of fear, because of nowhere else to go, because of no one to really reach out to that even cares enough to allow you to maybe come and live with them, or things of that nature. And it's just because I don't know for sure what it is to be in a domestic violence relationship. I couldn't imagine they are stuck in the house with these victimizers. Exactly. Please pray for these women and their children. Exactly, shush. And then at the end of the day, you're absolutely right. This quarantine is not making it any better. Um, Brooklyn Star, what's up, baby? I don't know. What in your ex made your great my great grandmother uneasy? I don't know, because that was the first and last time that she had ever saw him. That was the first time that she had ever saw him, and the last. And she was bedbound at this point. At this point, she was bedbound. So I brought him into the house to show, so that he could meet her, and so that he could, because I wanted, I thought that, and he was quiet. I mean, very quiet. One of those types that he too quiet. That's me now talking. Me then thinking, okay, that's that was the attraction. We weren't from the same towns, even though they were side by side. We weren't from the same town. We weren't, and that was the whole thing. I had never gone out with anybody in my own hometown. I never wanted to. So because he was out of town, but my dad knew his dad, it was all right. This pandemic is teaching me patience so much, and that's a good thing. She must have sensed his spirit wasn't right. Older people have right, and my great grandmother. I mean, like I said, she was dead bound at this point. She had to be dead and everything. But when I made the introduction, that's what she said to me, and I said, I'm young. I'm thinking, Medea, because she was Medea, so Medea don't know what she talking about, child. So and that's what I'm saying to me in the back of my mind. So I wasn't worried about it. I went on, and we were together for, I mean, all throughout my high school. So I mean, it was like she didn't. I felt like she got it wrong that time. In actuality, she got it right. She got it right. Hey, boo.
Hey, Bama. Hey, guys in the chat. Hey, how's everybody doing? I see you in chat. God is love. Connect. Pam C. Triple Red X. Hey, everyone. How you doing?
Girl.
What's up, Bama?
Girl, that was me. That was me, girl. I thought that was you, girl. It said that was me.
No, I said what's up.
Nothing. What's going on, babe? How you feeling?
No, I'm good.
Good, good, good.
I am
Well,
good.
Queen Lady T, hey, boo. But yeah, so keeping in line with the conversation and what the topic is for tonight, Q and I decided to do what she actually brought it to me, to have this discussion because um it's very prevalent. Hey, Candy Cane, what's going on, baby? And we need to have a discussion. We need to talk about it. So tonight we're gonna talk about domestic violence.
Right. Well, what made me bring it up or think about it was I told you my daughter's friend. And as a matter of fact, as I was sending you the message to ask you to drop the link, I was just hanging up the phone with her friend.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and, I told you she's only 18. And although I have asked my daughter time and time again to quit volunteering me for shit, she has volunteered me to help this child.
Mm.
And I know I would want someone to help my girls, if
Right.
they were in that situation.
Right.
But I in college was in a domestic abusive relationship, and I can understand where her mindset is right now. Only
Mm-hmm.
difference with me is I decided I really had to pack up and leave once I had my son.
Mm.
Um, but this child is only 18 with a 3-year-old daughter and is living in a hotel with this man, and he's beating the mess out of her.
Mm.
Um, and her mom put her out when she was 15, when she got pregnant, but told her she would only help her take care of the baby, but she wasn't going to help her. She would only help her with the baby. So thank God her mom has the baby. And I'm like, look, I really am not in the, you know, I really don't want to get involved in this, but the child, like I said, she's the same age as my daughter.
Yeah.
And I can only see, my child being in that situation. And me personally, the situation would be different. But just knowing that there's a little girl out there the same age as my daughter that's being beat by a 27-year-old man, that
Mm.
bothers me. You know what I'm saying? And she's
Yeah.
scared to death. So I think he is locked up, or for some reason he's not in the hotel with her right now, and she wants to use this time to run. So I'm like, I was hanging up with her and I was like, well, come on. But when she gets here, I'm going to have to let her know you have one time for this man to come knocking on my door looking for you. I'm not in, no, I can't. I just can't.
Right.
But I am going to help her. But to touch on and speak to where I stand with domestic violence, when I was in college, well, me growing up, um, I grew up with my aunt and uncle. They pretty much raised me. So I grew up in a basically a two-parent household. I was sheltered as a child. Even though I was not, I had freedom to do certain things, I was still sheltered because there was a lot of stuff I did not see. Living in Decatur, Georgia, growing up in the 80s, 70s, and 80s, you didn't
Mhm.
see gang violence. It wasn't like kind of what you can see now. You didn't see any of that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I wasn't exposed to violence. I wasn't exposed to domestic abuse. I was not exposed to any of that. I really didn't know much about it. So when I went off to college and started dating someone, I didn't see, like you said, you didn't see the signs of it. I
Mhm.
didn't see the signs from him.
Well,
He was,
there weren't any
no,
for
only
me.
thing, right. The only thing that he was a whore. He slept with anything that had a pulse. He didn't give a damn. He was a cheater. But I should have saw the fact that and at the time, I guess I didn't see the signs of physical abuse. Let me put it like that. But what
Mhm.
I should have known was um, he was controlling because he didn't like me looking at anybody. Like if anyone looked at me more than once, well, what you do? Why is he looking at you? I'm like, you ask him why is he looking at me? It was always I was doing something I didn't have any business doing. He's looking at you. He's this, he's that. And so I was like, me, I took it as, oh, he's jealous. Isn't that cute? That's how I saw it at
Right.
18 or 19. So I moved into my own apartment off campus. And under his scholarship, he still had a room in the dorms, but basically he
Mhm.
lived with me. And I found out he was cheating on Valentine's Day.
Oh,
So on Valentine's Day, right. And all of his frat brothers, they was like, "Oh, leave him alone. He ain't this, he isn't that." But they was trying to talk to me, but yet and still reporting back to him everything that I did.
right.
So when I found out he was cheating, I started dating someone else, the new guy that came. He started that January. He was gorgeous. That man was fine as hell.
They
And
they be they be like that, don't they?
oh my God, Lord have mercy. He's still fine. Jesus, he's still fine. He just into the church. He real heavy into the church now. So I can't corrupt him. So I
Yeah, please.
no,
Leave
but
him in
I
God's
wasn't no, I wouldn't. I'm just saying.
hands.
So so I started dating a dude and but the Jay, the guy I was dating at the time, he and I broke up. The one the guy I had been with all the time, he and I broke up. So I started dating a new dude. And he didn't know about it at first. But his roommate, Jay's roommate, was my sister's boyfriend. They were
Mhm.
dating. And her messy ass invited him over for dinner
Wow.
while I'm with the new dude. And that's how my
Mm.
ex found out. So he was like my ex boyfriend's roommate went back and told him, Cute got a new man. And he was like, "Oh, really?" And the phone calls started coming and coming and coming, coming and coming. And we had a really bad snowstorm. So me, my sister, the new dude, and his roommate, the two guys came from campus and got stuck in my apartment because they shut the city down.
Mhm.
So they when they shut the city down, we were stuck in the house for like 4 days. But the phone calls kept coming. And back then the phone would ring, 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 ring. If you didn't have a voicemail, it would just hang. It would Lord have mercy, I got things going off everywhere. The phones would go to the busy signal. Then he would pick up and start calling back. So time went on and one day he called me and said, "I need you to meet me outside around the corner." And I'm like, "For what?" He said, "We need to talk." I said, "Okay, fine."
Just
So we go around the corner and we start talking. And he was like, "I heard you with such and such." I said, "Well, you with this person, that person, this person. I found out on Valentine's Day. So you could be with those women. I'm with someone else." And he kept saying, So you're having sex with a dude. And I'm like, why would you ask that? Why would you ask that? Stop asking me questions. And he said, I just want to know. Just we're gonna be honest about it. So I said, me having a smart ass mouth like I do, he was like, just tell me, he said, you know what I've been doing. I just want to know what you've been doing. I said, yeah, and he's so much better than you. And when I said that, he took his fist and punched me dead in my eye. And I hit a truck I was standing next to, and I hit the ground and I looked at him, and then here comes the foot straight to my stomach.
Oh
And
my
I'm
goodness.
looking like, what the hell is wrong with you? He said, don't you ever talk to me like that again. And left me laying there. And that started a cycle because at that point I became somewhat scared of him.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, you cut him off. And I'm like, no. And he said, I'm gonna give you a week. 2 weeks goes by. Did you cut him off? No. He said, all right. So he started harassing the dude, but dude wasn't a punk. But to not cause problems with him, I was like, you know what? Let's just end this because he's not going to leave you alone. That I promise you. Plus, he is extremely popular on campus, and he got his
Mm-hmm.
frat brothers and the people he grew up with to back him. He's not going to back down at all. So he was like, all right, I still like you. I said, but you know what? I can't even do that to you. But the abuse continued. We had a pajama party and on campus. All I had a little spaghetti string nightgown. It was short, but it had a robe to it.
Okay.
Dude drugged me out the student union by my hair, grabbed me.
Uh-uh.
Now, mind you, his other two chicks in there with the same, not the same outfit, but they in there with pajamas on. But I get drugged out, and they used to be like, those other girls could do what they want, but you can't. You're like, why won't he just leave me alone? There are other girls on campus he's messing with. Why won't he just leave me alone? And they were like, he's not going to. And he told me, I will never leave you alone. Never. Get over it. And I was like, this man is crazy. But what made me start fighting back was that August. Um,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, I stayed in my own apartment. Campus was opening back up. His birthday was that Saturday. The dorms opened back up that Monday. So his birthday was Saturday, and everybody, our place was the hangout. We had a 1 bedroom apartment, but that Saturday, I think we had maybe 4 people crashing at our spot, waiting for the dorms to open back up. And my sister was there. And my sister, that's my little big sister because she swears she's the oldest, but
Mm-hmm.
she was always my protector. Give me 1 second. This is baby girl. 1 second.
Okay, baby. Oh my goodness. Um, don't ask me shit. You know what? You will
Okay.
wake up and your braids will be cut off. He would cut the braids off while you was asleep, girl. If you got a
Oh,
compliment,
I
girl, no, ma'am.
child, I've been there. So,
Oh, hold on. Mustang Sally said, yes, I've heard, I know who Sansa Ray is, babe.
hmm,
Oh, and you know what, guys, before we go any further, I was so upset to hear that Miss Minnie from Little Women of Atlanta
passed away. Yeah, it was
passed
sad.
away, y'all. I was upset when I heard that. They said it was a hit and run. Is that what it was, Q?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, it was sad.
Had some prayers up for her mom.
Yeah, because they were very close.
Right. But what were you saying, boo?
Okay, so that August, like I said, that Saturday was his birthday. Dorms opened up on that Monday, and like my sister was there, a couple, some other guys, his cousin, a couple other people were just like sprawled out in my living room. And funny thing was, we had a walk-in closet in our hallway, and It was so big that one of his friends turned it into like a little mini bedroom. It was, I mean, we just had people everywhere. And plus,
Wait,
it
hold
was his
on, hold
birthday
on, hold on.
weekend.
Robin, you said it wasn't a hit and run. What was it?
It was a hit and run. She was in a car accident and the car kept going.
Okay, so yeah, that's a hit and run. Okay.
I mean, that's what the news report said. The car kept going.
Okay.
Um, she said, "Mean across the center lane and hit a car head on." The driver said, "Oh, okay, Robin. The report I saw said the car kept going, but they still coming out with new developments. So you may be right. I just last time
Oh,
I saw it was at noon, so she may be right, Bama. Maybe
oh
they were
okay.
still bringing out information about it.
Mm-hmm.
But so that Saturday was his birthday, and he was like, "We're going to go play basketball." I was like, "Okay,
Oh, she her
have
head on.
fun." He said, "Can you cook this up? I want cook for everybody." I said, "Okay, no problem." So
Girl,
when
hell
his
no. Wait a minute. Okay.
well, okay. So now this we hadn't had any arguments or anything today. So it was his birthday. Like I said, he said, "Can you cook this for everybody?" And you know me, Bam. I'm always cooking. I'm trying to change your eating habits right now
Mm,
that you fighting against.
that's a work in
So
progress.
so I cooked, and everyone came back from playing basketball except for Jay. And I'm like, "Where is he?" "Oh, he'll be here." I said,
Hey,
"Okay."
Summer Breeze. Hey,
Hey, Summer
Liz. I'm
Breeze.
listening, baby.
So I was like, not thinking. And as I'm looking, it went from 7 o'clock, and by this time it's midnight. And I'm like, he still isn't here. So they kept saying, "Can we eat his food? Can we eat his food?" And at first I was like, "No, y'all can't have his food." So finally I was like, "Yeah, eat it. I don't give a damn." So about 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm asleep, and I just feel a sharp pain in my side. And now mind you, back in the day, everybody had the water bed. So we had this big king size water bed.
Mm-hmm.
And I just felt this sharp pain, and I jump up, and "Why the hell you let someone eat my food?" And I'm like, "Well, first off, you wasn't here. And secondly, whatever bitch you was with should have fed you." And that got me a backhand. And I'm like, "You know what?" I got out the bed and I locked the bedroom door. I said, "This is the last time you're going to put your hands on me." And we fought like two dudes up in that room. We fought. They kept banging on the door, banging on the door, banging on the door till they finally got it open and pulled us apart and broke us up. We both were fucked up in that room.
I know
And
y'all.
we were we were both fucked up because I tried to bust his head with the alarm clock.
Girl,
He's
I've been
hitting me
so
with stuff.
proud of you.
We were fighting like two men. And he was bigger than me, but it didn't matter. It did not matter to me.
Look at D talking about, oh no, he didn't. Oh yes, he did, D. Oh yes,
Hey
he did.
D baby. Oh yes, he did. So he said, "Sleep your ass on the floor. I bought this bed." I said, "But my mama pays for this apartment." He said, "I don't give a fuck. Sleep on the floor." I said, "Okay." So I sat on the floor and I waited for him to go to sleep. I got up, went in the bathroom, looked at my face, and you don't touch my face. I didn't play that. So I walked into the kitchen. I didn't say nothing. I got a butcher knife. I
Hmm.
went back to our bedroom and cut the waterbed and I shoved his head in the hole. I literally was trying to drown him. And had nobody been there, I probably would have succeeded because by this time he passed out. And I was trying to shove his head rather into the hole that I cut. And they're pulling me, trying to pull me back because I'm literally trying to push his head into the hole that I cut in our waterbed.
Girl, you had the strength of Hercules, girl.
When you get your ass beat, yeah, you can develop it. And I was like,
No,
"No."
S. Jones, that was her boyfriend in college.
Yeah, that was in college. That was years ago. Years and years ago. So I called he jumped up and he's screaming and everyone's screaming. So I called his dad. I called his dad. What the hell this child want? Hold on one second.
Exactly, Starry Night Child. That was listen, that was
I want to know why she at work calling me. Anyway, So I called his father and I told his father, I said, I just tried to kill your son. Next time I'm going to succeed and you can bury him next to his dead ass mama. Don't you hurt my son. Don't you hurt my son. I said, I'm going to kill your son. That's my goal, is to kill your son if he put his hands on me again. Well, I think some months went by, no problem. But the shit started again. I used to do, and I used, and I think, well, I know I just perpetuated the stuff because it was two toxic people going after each other. I would put like stuff in his food. I would um I would do all kinds of stuff to him. I would try and put stuff in his food. I would um key his car. The girls he was messing with, I would torment them. I would do any and everything I thought I could do to make this man mad because he put his hands on me. And we would just fight. And it was the most toxic relationship I'd ever been in. Aha, it wasn't a burning bed. It was gonna be the drowning bed, is what it was gonna be. I was gonna drown him. A good thing when he bought that bed, it had a spare water mattress, which took us 3 days to drain and put the new mattress in. But hey, Firefly. But yeah, I literally tried to drown him in our water bed. But as time went on, the abuse didn't get any better. And then I became pregnant with my son, and the abuse didn't stop throughout my pregnancy. He was still abusive. And I remember calling the police to have him arrested. And the only thing the police said was, you're pregnant by this man. We're not locking him up. This is his child. This is his home. Now I'm in a very racist city. Um, so being black, they ain't care about being black and a female. They really couldn't stand my ass. So they basically told me, you're pregnant by that man. We're not locking him up. He takes care of you. And that's pretty much how they viewed me and my entire situation. So as I went on with the pregnancy, like I said, the abuse didn't stop. Even once I put him out, he would kick in doors. It was just, it was terrible. And the police did nothing about it. So after I had my son, um, we weren't living together anymore, but he still felt the need to pop up whenever he felt like it. So anytime I attempted to have a relationship with someone else, he would do everything in his power to run them off. Threats, fights with the person I was trying to date. I mean, he and his cousin caught a guy I was talking to, caught him leaving my apartment one morning, and they jumped on him and beat him real bad. And again, no one did anything. The police did nothing about it. So it did not seem as if I was going to ever get rid of him. So finally, my senior year, and I was done with my senior year. I just had not walked across the stage. I didn't have my graduation. I was graduating that fall. And he and I was pregnant again, this time with my oldest daughter. And he and I, we actually, quote unquote, called ourselves being engaged, which was a damn mistake. But he decided he didn't want another baby right then. So he jumped on me. Well, back up. Before he did that, he hit my son. He hit his hand to stop him from doing something, and he hit him so hard I thought he broke his hand. And that's when I decided, I'm done. I'm walking away from this relationship. But right soon after that is when I found out I was pregnant with my oldest daughter. And he attacked me, told me he was not ready for any more children. and commenced to trying to make me have a miscarriage. Literally tried to beat me into having a miscarriage, and thought he was successful. And I allowed him to believe he was. And pretty much 2 weeks later, without him or anybody knowing, except for maybe my sister and two other people, they were the only ones that knew. I had sold a lot of my stuff, packed up most of my things, and I was leaving and coming back to Atlanta. And he didn't know. He didn't know I was gone until a week after I left and moved back to Atlanta, because he called himself being mad at me. He thought I was going to try and have him arrested because after he attacked me, I was in the hospital with cracked ribs and all kinds of stuff. He really thought he beat me into having a miscarriage. That was his goal. That's what he thought he did. So when I was released, um, my son's godfather at the time was a policeman, and he came to move my things. And his whole thing was like, look, just call him over and start an argument with him. That way I can shoot him and it's justifiable. And I'm like, no, you about to get married? No, no, we're not doing this. He was like, no, we gonna put it into this today. I'm like, I'm not doing that. Just help me move and get the hell up out of here. So I
Right.
got out, you know, um, like I said, he didn't know for a week that I was gone. And he went looking for me and everybody was like, oh, she's gone. He's like, gone where? And they're like, she went back home. And I don't know how, but well, he knew my aunt's number. And me hiding everything from her, not letting her know what was going on here, she gave him my number. And he was like, get your ass back here. I don't want nothing to do with you or that baby, talking about my son. And I
Uh-huh.
was like, that's fine. You'll never have to worry about me or anybody else. You stay there, I'll stay here, and we never ever have to deal with each other. And pretty much until 2006, and he still didn't know about my daughter. He still didn't know. Um, 2006, at our homecoming, he saw me and he was like, I'm sorry for everything that I did. It'll never happen again. I want to have a relationship with my son. I'm sorry. I just I just want to make things right. So this was what, 10 years later. So I was like, you know what? We'll talk about it. He said, I'll see you, I'll be in your town in about, because I wasn't living in Atlanta at that time. He was like, I'll
Uh-huh.
be there in a couple of months. I said, okay. So he came into town and he said, we'll meet up in the morning. And I was like, okay, that's fine. So that night, my phone just started blowing up, blowing up, blowing up. And I'm like, why is my phone blowing up like this? But something said, don't answer that phone right now. Then something was like, you need to answer the phone. And I'm just like, I'm not answering shit. I'm not answering the phone. So as I'm getting up in the morning to go to the store, and I knew I was meeting him, around noon, I kept getting all these phone calls. And I'm like, what the hell? So I answered, I'm like, what? Why are you blowing up my phone? And it was like, yo, Jay was killed in a car crash last night. And I'm like, who? And it was like, Jay, he died. I'm like, Jay, who? Who are you talking about? And they was telling me, Jay, your ex, he was killed in a car crash. And I'm like, no, no. I just talked to him last night. Matter of fact, I'm gonna be meeting him in a couple of hours. They was like, no, he gone. And I was like, no, he's not. He's not dead. This was that January following when I saw him in October in '06. He came and I was supposed to meet him that January. And I'm like, no, he's fine. I just talked to him. He's okay. And it was like, no, last night he was
Wait,
drunk.
hold on. As Jones says, so you hid a child for 10 years. Am I hearing this right?
I had my son, and then I had a daughter, and he did not know about my daughter. We lived in two separate states. We were 600 miles away from each other. So yeah, I
And he
did.
said that he don't really have anything to do with the child anyway.
He ain't had nothing to do with shit I did. Not a damn thing I did. That man tried to beat me to death. So yeah, I ain't need to tell him a damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he they said he got on the highway going in the wrong direction at 10 o'clock in that night, 10 o'clock at night, and had a head-on collision. 1 second.
He actually didn't start nice. He didn't deserve to know. He gave her every reason in the world to keep the child away from. First of all, dude, you have anger management issues and you don't know how to keep your hands to yourself. So what made me think in my mind, being a mother, that you won't try and take it out on my child too. So
Yeah, and
I
I've never had to
all
just I never felt the need to justify why I did not let a man who tried to beat me to death and, almost could have beat me to death, but intentions was to beat my child up out of me.
mm-hmm.
He didn't need to know a damn thing, and now he's dead, probably burning in hell. So I don't think I did anything wrong, nor do I care
I mean a good
about,
slow roast. A good
you know,
slow roast.
slow roast. Yeah. And mind you, even when he was cheating on me, he had other girlfriends and he used to beat them. One of the
Oh no.
girls, she and I became close after his funeral, and I did go to his funeral. Um, she gave me a letter. She spoke to me. She was like, I always could never understand why he cheated on me, cheated with me over you, and all this stuff. And she told me that one time he took her car and was gone for some days. I didn't even know this. This is when we were in college, and he beat her so bad he blacked both of her eyes, and she couldn't see. And he told her she didn't need the car no damn way because she couldn't
What?
drive. Yeah. So me not telling him about my children is not nothing I felt bad about. But when
Mm-mm.
he decided that he wanted to, 10 years later, he did decide that, maybe we should fix this. I want to fix this. I want to make it right. All cards would have been put out there. But I didn't feel a need to tell him a damn thing prior to that. He didn't reach out to me. I hadn't spoke to him. The only time I would see him is if I attended our homecoming, and
Mm-hmm.
he made it a habit to make sure he didn't utter a word to me, and I made it a habit to make sure I ain't utter one to him.
Mm.
It was never how is, not even asking how his son was. He didn't give a damn, and he told me, I don't give a fuck about her or that baby. Those were his words. He said the bitch should never left. That's how he felt, and I felt the same way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We were on the same level. So that is what made me say, I said that to say, that's what made me say, I'm helping this child because I know what being in an abusive relationship is. I know what getting your ass beat on a regular basis is like.
Mm. Mm. Mm-mm.
And that was my daughter calling me to tell me she should be here in a minute. I'm not in the position to be, me just not, still getting my strength back from my surgery and stuff. And I'm still, Bam, I'm still going through it.
Right.
Um, I'm not really in a position to take on this situation, but I am. You know what I'm saying? I am.
Mm-hmm.
Because I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't in good conscience know that this child, and she's still a child,
Yeah.
she had to, she dropped out of high school because he was like, you got to work, you got to help to make sure that we're okay. He has her living in a hotel. You got to pay these bills, you got to do this, you got to do that. And she was at the time trying to pay for daycare. And although her mother did let her child live with her, she's still being abused by this man. But the thing is, me allowing her to stay here is very temporary because she's going to have to do what she needs to do to get out this situation. And one of the things she's going to have to do is go into a shelter. for emergency housing. Now, am I going to make her
Yeah.
do that tomorrow? Absolutely not. But that is one thing that she's going to have to start doing. She's going to have to do it. I don't know why her family, and I told my daughter, there has to be a reason why her family isn't helping her. I don't know what that reason is, but if I say I'm going to help this child, I'm going to do what I can to help her. But she's going to have to understand what I will accept and what I will not accept. And, she's on her way, and I'm going to go ahead and do what I can to help the child. But me
Right.
knowing what it's like to be abused by someone, and she's only 18 and this man is 27, I can only
Right.
imagine how frightened she is of him. I was with
Mm-hmm.
someone, and he was actually younger than me. He was a year and a half younger than me, but he was crazy. He was
Right.
crazy.
Right.
And I never ever felt bad about me removing myself and my children from him. I never felt bad. One person did tell me I was wrong. I told them to kiss my ass, one of his family members. You can kiss my ass because you knew I had a son and you didn't even reach out. I
Right.
wanted nothing from you guys. I needed nothing. I didn't ask for child support. You didn't have to pay for him. You didn't have to do anything. When he said he didn't want shit to do with him, I made sure he had not a damn thing to do with him.
Right. Right. Right.
You,
And then
you,
not only that, there are shelters for battered women and children that will supply daycare. She won't have to worry about that. If she needs to ride to work, they will give her bus passes and stuff for that. Whatever she needs, that's the type of shelter that she needs to seek out. The
hmm
shelter, not just a regular shelter, a shelter for battered women and kids.
Yeah, and there's one not too far from where I am right now. It's
Mm-hmm.
actually a church. It's a church
Mm-hmm.
that has a shelter. But I'm gonna have to speak to her as if I was talking to my daughters. I can't get. You need that really tough love. I can't
Right.
sugarcoat it with her. I couldn't
Right.
sugarcoat. I don't sugarcoat anything with them. Not even my son. I shoot straight from the hip each and every time. Lord Jesus, this phone just going off.
Yes.
Hold on.
Yes, you do. I couldn't imagine, y'all. I couldn't imagine. Now, I do know, like some of my family members, especially the girls, some of them have been in abusive relationships. The last fight that I know that my cousin, well, one of my first cousins actually, now the women in our family, we're fighters. So we fight, we fight back. You hit me, that might be your ass. It just depending on how it's going.
Exactly.
But the last fight that she got in, my other cousin was working at the Wawa, and
At the who?
at a Wawa, it's a service station,
Oh, okay.
and she was recording them. When I tell you, my cousin was all over her boyfriend. She done bit half of his ear off. I said, "Girl, why you bit the half of the man ear off?" And then she's still with the man right to this day because he takes care of her. I said, "Mm-mm, mm-mm, no, ma'am. All this fighting. And hey, Nikki, baby.
Hey, Nikki, boo boo. Yeah, that was the first and the last domestic violence relationship I was in. Because I know now I can see the signs, or even if
Mm-hmm.
they're not really signs of domestic violence. If I see something not going right, I'm done with your ass. I'm not going
Yeah,
any further because at this point, I'm not going to continue at this age, rather. I'm not going to continue to let someone put their hands on me. Um,
right.
and my first thing is, and I've told other people who has dealt with the domestic violence, and they keep going back. And the one thing my great aunt told me, when I kept going back, she was like, "You're not tired of him going upside your head." I'm like, "What you mean?" "Yes, I am." She said, "You're not tired. You're not tired of that man putting his hands on you." She said, "Because when you're tired, you won't allow it to happen, not one
Right.
day more." She said, "You're
Right.
not sick and tired of being sick and tired." And I
Mm.
lived by that from that day up forward because I used to tell my friends, "Oh, you're not tired of being sick and tired because you're still there." What?
Everybody saying check your cash out, baby.
Oh, okay. I just heard it go off. I'm like, what is that? Hold on.
What's going on there, Snowmass?
Hey, Bama girl, how are you?
I'm doing well. Where's Craig?
Hey, Craig, right over here, man. Where I'm at, that's where Craig at. All right.
Exactly. We miss Craig.
Um,
Bama girl, I wanted to just come on to say, okay, so you was on live one night and you was talking about your situation, and I've been through my last relationship. He's locked up right now.
I'm
He's
sorry.
been
I'm
locked up.
sorry. Ness, no mess. Hold on for me just 1 second. I'm sorry.
Sure, of
I
course.
want to thank everyone who cashed at me. I'm so sorry. I did not even know my cash app was going off. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. I really do. And I'm definitely going to help this child. As a matter of fact, that's her that just called asking me if I would get her an Uber over here. So I appreciate it. And she's just up the street. So I'm about to send her an Uber to get her over here. So I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you very much. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ness. I apologize, babe.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Bama girl, I know you don't probably know me too well, but I talk about you from time to time because you did a live where you was talking about your domestic situation, and my situation, he's locked up right now, but he's gonna get out next year. And
Mm-hmm.
when you was talking, you was crying, and I started crying with you because for me, like he's been locked up since 2018 or whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
I was on a live last night on T Cops Live, just giving my story. And I can really like resonate with where you're coming from. And let me just say this, like I can make like you see 5'8", for example. I respect that, you respect five. I don't, that stuff doesn't matter to me. Like it really doesn't matter to me. um
Mm-hmm.
I be trying to look at
Take your
I
time,
be,
baby. Take your time, baby.
Oh, oops, oops, oops.
I
I'm
be
sorry,
trying to
guys.
hold on 1 second.
Okay, baby.
Oh, I'm sorry. I hope I am not triggering anybody with this. I
Well, the
apologize,
thing
No,
guys.
is,
you're not.
a lot
You're
of
not.
times these conversations may trigger people, but these are the types of conversations that we need to have, sis. I mean, sometimes people need to hear it and they need to be able to vent and cry about
Yeah.
it and things such as that. So that's
So
that's why we're here together.
I be trying to I talk about what I went through. You was mentioning things about what you went through, and you was crying, and I was crying with you because my situation, it happened in 2018 or whatever, and he's still locked up, but he's gonna get out next year. And I found a lot of comfort through YouTube. Like I've been like, I recently just shared stuff that I've written about my experience, and there's been a lot of outpour of support, and I'm just so grateful for it. And when I saw that you was live tonight, like I mentioned you, like even on the live I was on last night, I was telling them how when you was telling your story, like it just kind of, it made me feel like I'm not by myself. Okay. And I get the whole YouTube thing that we got going on. I get we roast and gag and all that other stuff, and people say I was Craig and all that, but there's like a deeper picture. Like I honestly, I kind of respect you a lot because you when you was saying your story, I was in the bushes listening, and I was in the bushes like crying and stuff because like this man, he almost killed me. He beat me with hammers, he beat me
Oh
with
my
oh yeah, he beat me with extension cords. I still got the plugs all over my body where he beat me with the cord. You can still
God.
see the plug mark on my body. I've never passed out in my life until I met him. Meeting him, he done took me till I passed out. So it's just there's like so much that be going on or whatever. And I love the roast. I love the gags. I like to have a good time. But it's like I just wish that we can all kind of like come together when it comes down to the shit that we've been through. Because
Right.
everybody doesn't, people will see me, they be like, oh, you Craig, you would troll this, that, and the other. And I mean the whole Craig thing, to be honest, in Bama Girl, when I was Craig, I respected you. I
You
respected
did.
everybody
Yeah.
when I was Craig. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I never came on platforms trying to disrespect people. I always
Right.
came on a platform trying to just, kick it or whatever. And it's like when I found out that you were someone who suffered the same things that I suffered from, it really
Hmm.
kind of it draw me to you. And like I swear to God, y'all, like your chat, it be really ruthless. But I'm just listening. I'm not looking at your chat or anything. But I swear to God, y'all, this is nothing. There's no motive beyond this, but trying to kind of self therapy. I never got no therapy. I didn't get no help. I didn't have nobody to talk to. Ain't no one. My face was so swollen when I'm gonna in a minute I'm gonna show you the picture of my face. But when I came home with my face like that, my mom, she saw my face swollen. She didn't even ask me what happened. I had no choice. I had nothing but myself. You know what I mean? And like when I see that you went through it too, I just damn, like I just wish we could still roast and gag. Like if you look at my videos, I be roasting Five Babe, but I'm not. The thing about me, I'm not like a fake to the point where I'm. Five Babe make me laugh. She is funny as hell. You feel me? She is a
Well, we
comedian.
all understand what the roasting and the gagging is about, but when they get down to, because that's what it is, it's a roast and a gag. But when it get down to the business like this, that hit home and that's personal, because these are the conversations that we definitely need to have. And I'm
Right.
clearly,
Mhm.
I am right here with you, since I am. You don't have to even worry about that, about who you roast, because this conversation, it is necessary. It's not like anything that will, even if it triggers you. Sometimes you need to talk about it, sis, because you said you never got help. I never got help.
Mhm.
I never felt like, I went to one session, and the first time I had even told anybody my story, you look pretty, boo. You I never, the first time I told anybody my story, there are some parts of that story my husband didn't even hear. So that first time that I told it, he was like, I didn't even know all of that happened. And I had to tell him, yeah, it did, because it was a one-time incident. There were no warning signs. There was no prior
Oh, it was
abuse.
only one time for you, Bama Girl, just one time.
It was just one time, and it was attempted murder.
Wow.
It was one time, not a warning sign, not a, because he didn't curse. We never even argued. We were young. We were
So,
kids.
so do you know why it happened that time? That's interesting. I didn't know it was just one
Yeah,
time.
yeah. It was one time because I came home because I was going to Alabama A&M University at the time, and I came home on the weekend, and he did not expect me to come home, and I caught him with another girl
Wow.
at his mom's house and her baby. And I was like, cool, because I knew I was going back to the campus, and I know it's a Million Man March around there, so I wasn't worried. So um once he found that out and he caught me and I caught him, I left, went to this club, me and my sister, and I was like, two tears in the bucket. But him not so much. And he told me that he was gonna make it to where
Wow.
nobody else wanted me. If he couldn't have me, nobody was gonna want me.
You know what, Bama? That's crazy. I think all of them, when they're in that situation or when they're in that controlling position, they all use the same line. I'll make it so
Hmm.
no one else would want you.
Yep.
And
Yep.
the thing I'm not going to say, because just to say it is the most disgusting thing in the world, but he used to pull a gun. He had a gun.
Hmm.
And his thing was, I'll make it so you can never have sex with another dude. Try me
Yep.
and see.
Wow.
Mm. Oh,
Wow.
that
And I'm
happened to
like,
one of my cousins. That happened to one of
and
my
you
cousins, and he actually did shoot her in her vagina.
Oh my, what?
Yeah, that's
Shot
basically
her
what
in
it
her
was. That's basically what it was. And he, and one day I was like, you can do me the biggest favor by just pulling the damn trigger because I'd rather be dead than continue to deal with you.
Wow. Yeah. I've
vagina.
been. Yeah. I know.
And at that time, I wasn't strong enough in the mindset to leave. I was not going
Yep.
to let my family know everything that I was going through. They knew some of it, but they didn't know everything. And,
Right.
you know, um, but even with me fighting him back, that was like fuel. That fueled him. That was like, all
Oh
right,
yeah.
she's
Oh,
fighting back.
wow. Yep.
He
Yep.
enjoyed it. He was like,
Yep.
and I mean, no matter what I did, I picked up a pot and hit him in the head with it. And he thought that was
It
the
gave him
funniest
more
shit.
energy.
It did.
It gave him more.
He's
Yep.
bleeding. And he's like, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
Oh
Do it
my God.
again.
Wow. Yep.
Do it
Wow.
again.
I know exactly what you. That. Let me
Oh,
show y'all a picture. I'm gonna show you guys a picture of when I came home from the hospital after he finished what he did to me. I'm gonna show it to y'all. Hold on. I hope you guys can see it. Hold on. You see
oh
it?
wow. Oh girl.
Oh my.
Yep. He beat me with a hammer, an extension cord, and a broomstick. And this was
Oh
my
Mm,
my
face.
God. I'm so sorry.
mm,
That was my
mm.
face. And imagine my face being like that. And when I got home, my mom, she didn't even ask. She opened the door. She saw me. She just went back to what she was doing. She didn't say nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? Like she said nothing to me. You know. So
Wow. And I
I
know
couldn't let
that's
my
why.
family know. I couldn't let them know because I knew they would have, somebody would have wound up in jail. I couldn't let them know the full extent
right.
of what I
But
was
no.
going through. I couldn't do
Mhm.
it.
Mm,
I couldn't do it because I felt like I'm not going to drag them into my mess. And I was had enough common sense to know I didn't need to be in that relationship. I knew I didn't
Mhm.
need to be there, but I knew I wasn't going to drag my family into it because my dumb ass didn't leave. But it took him hitting my son. My son was 1.5. And when he hit him, he hit his hand so hard, it swelled up. I thought he
oh wow.
broke it. I thought he broke it. So my cousin, she's a doctor now, but at the time she was in medical school. So I took him to let her look at his hand. She was like, "No, that's just tissue. He didn't break anything." She said he didn't break anything this time. What about the next time? Now
Right.
we went to the same school, so she knew what had been going on. But she was real nerdy, and she was not she wasn't the family member that would be the one to say something. Now my sister, that was a different story. Jesus, that was a different story. But no one told my elders in my family because I was like, don't, please don't bring this up to them. But she was
Oh,
like, he could have broke his hand, and that's
yeah,
what
he
was
could have.
like, yeah. I was like, I'm out. But that after I decided I was going to leave is when I found out I was pregnant, and that's when he jumped on me. And he was like, I will stomp this motherfucker out of you if I have to. And
Mm,
I'm like, just like, I can't even fight back at this point because he, in a pump move, caught me from behind in a headlock and it went from
mm,
there. And after I got out the hospital, it was like, I'm out of here. There was no if, ands, or buts about it. And that's why I said, I tell people that are in that situation. And sometimes, like, you shouldn't use those words. Those are harsh, and you shouldn't be
Mhm.
so, hard on people when you speak to them. And I was like, it's not that I'm being hard, but I'm being honest. You're
yeah,
not sick and tired of these ass whoopings because when you really are sick and tired, you're going to do something about it. Now, that may be you kill his ass, you leave his ass, you have his ass locked up, but you get out of it the best way you can. And I did what I had to do. I had to go. Just like Bama, you said, who was it? Your grandmother buried the
yeah.
hatchet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my grandmother, she buried a hatchet into my grandfather's head. What you not
exactly.
gonna, and she was short like you. She was a shorty. So and she still is. But and grown folks said that his grandmother um killed her abuser. And
Yeah, I
see, you
saw
know
that.
what, grown folks, my grandmother killed my grandfather with a hatchet. One Sunday morning, he drug her from the church. But listen, he had
Hey,
been
Rebel,
beating
my
her
baby.
for years and years and years. Hey, Rebel son. Yes. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So, Ness, why is it that your mother didn't even ask what happened?
Um, because my mom is Haitian and she doesn't like that I smoke weed. And there's American people that I've seen that like their daughters they smoke weed and they don't mind it, but my mom like smoking weed is like, oh, you smoking crack, like you're this that. Even though I have all these skills and I'm doing my best to just do what I can, she still she judges me based off of what I do, and it's gotten so bad to the point where I come home looking unrecognizable. You can't even notice my face, and she doesn't say anything to me.
Mm,
Yeah, I'm so sorry. But I would not go around my family. Now, I never had, I will not sit and say that I had the type of injuries that you had until that last time. That
mm-hmm.
last time. And I didn't
Hey,
leave.
Sarah.
I didn't leave until I was pretty much healed up. My face, my I when I had my daughter, I still had cracked ribs.
Mm.
My ribs were
Ooh.
still
Oh
healing.
my
And
God, girl, I know you were in pain.
I was in pain because I didn't even have anesthesia. I had my first two children natural. I had no anesthesia. I was in pain. So you know, I didn't go around them. But um and it's hard for me because I'm light. So it was really hard for me to hide bruises. And he got to the point where he did not really hit me in the face as much. And after, he
So
Wow.
it
went
was
through
all
stuff.
Yes.
below
Yeah. I
Yeah,
wow.
it
I
it
know
was in the
exactly. He even
head.
told me I'm not gonna hit you in the face to make it less noticeable. He said that to me.
Well, he told me, he
the.
said, I don't want to look at your ass like that.
Wow.
Is what he told me. I don't want to look at your ass like that. So
Wow.
it was
Wow.
more in the chest, in the stomach, in the back, in the sides. But like I said, we would fight. I didn't give a damn if I hit him in the face. And I felt I was just,
Yeah.
I justified my relationship because I fought him back. And that didn't, looking back now, that was the dumbest shit to say, well, I fought back. So I stayed, but I fought back. That still didn't make any sense.
Right.
Just
Hmm.
because you fight back, you still don't need to stay because like that fool,
Right.
all that did was encourage him and add fuel to his fire,
Exactly.
Right.
you know. And when I was pregnant with my son, there was no saying no to sex because if I said no, I remember him picking me up and throwing me across the bed
Mm.
and said,
Wow.
"Bitch, don't ever tell me no." And I'm like, dude, like I'm
Wow.
8 months pregnant. He ain't give
Oh
a
my
damn.
goodness.
He didn't care. He did not care. And even with his apologies, before he passed, and I was like, I don't trust you, but everyone, time has passed, and I will allow you to see, to see my kids or whatever, but not alone. And with him being killed the night before was crazy.
Yeah.
That was crazy, you know. And I don't want to ever say that I'm glad he's gone because I'm not. I don't wish that on no one. Like I said, he went on the highway going in the wrong direction and had a head-on collision.
What was he drunk?
Yeah. But you know
Mm.
what? When we were in college, I used to tell him, and I promise you, I used to tell him, you have been saved too many times. God ain't gonna always save you. He got shot
Right.
on my birthday. No, was it my birthday he got shot? It was around my birthday. Um, yeah, it was on my birthday. We were out for my birthday. That was right after I had my son. He got shot in his leg at a club. No, we were just at a club and someone got to shooting. He took a bullet in the thigh. He went to the hospital. They didn't remove the bullet. Fast forward to March, he was playing basketball in the gym, and someone came by and hit him. and broke his femur bone because the bullet was still in his leg and was setting up gangrene in his leg. And when they
Mm.
Mm.
broke his leg, they actually, and it wasn't like they did it on purpose, they were playing basketball. And when they broke the leg and they went in to repair it, they realized the bullet was there and was setting up gangrene, which him getting his leg broke actually saved his leg. So they said
Right.
in another year they would have
Right.
had to amputate at the hip.
Because girl, once that gangrene, if it gets in the bloodstream, girl, it travels and it will kill him.
Yeah. Then there was another time him and his frat brother coming back from another school, got drunk, ran off the road, they fell asleep at the wheel. That happened like 2 or 3 times. He fell asleep at the wheel. He went to another school, got to arguing with another fraternity. Him and his frat brother got jumped on and was beat real bad. He came home with this big knot on his head. I made him go to the hospital, and they told him, had you went to sleep, you wouldn't have woke up. But I made him go to the hospital when all he wanted to do was go to sleep. I'm like, nah, you need to go to the hospital. Then there was another time on his 21st birthday, he got so drunk, he fell out in the middle of the street. Now, I lived across the street from his cousin, and his cousin called and was like, Jay on his way home.
He
He
was a
said,
Q
he's
dog.
drunk.
Classy. He was a Q dog.
No, he was not a Q. He
What
was
was
not a Q. He wasn't a Q.
what
Actually,
was
he was an alpha. He was an alpha.
oh Lord.
He wanted to be a Q, but he didn't want to take that ass with him. But
Oh.
he he called me and said, Jay on his way home. I said, okay. 20 minutes later, now literally it's across the street. I'm like, where is he? I go outside. He's passed out in the middle of the street, sleep in the middle of the
What?
street. I'm like, you have been spared so many times. I mean, that's just a few of the times. Another time, he got into it with a Kappa, and the dude hit him in the head with a bat because he had a mouth on him.
Mm.
And,
Yeah, they
so
got
many
mouths.
times.
Yeah.
It was
But
only
the thing is, it wasn't that he wasn't scared to
at
fight.
the
And he wasn't scared to fight a dude. He wasn't scared to
Right.
fight nobody.
Damn. Did we date the same person? Cause girl,
It
the more
sounds
you
like it,
talk,
doesn't it?
what?
It
It
sounds
really
like it.
does.
And I
The
was just
more
like,
stories you
time.
tell is
You know
so
what?
familiar.
huh?
That just tells me that there are so many men out there that love, they get joy out of inflicting so much pain on the people that love them the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because
And
like I
And
that's
said,
that's what's so sad about it.
even the females that he cheated on me with, he was abusing them.
yep, girl. Wow. Yep.
He was abusing them.
Wow. Baby, let me tell y'all something. I couldn't even take a shower by myself. Like every time he went to go take a shower, I had to take a shower with him because he was scared that while he was in the shower, I was going to be able to escape. So this is what he would do. He would make me go into the shower with him, and I would have to soap my body and rinse myself off. And when I'm finished, I would have to stand in a corner in the shower until he was done. So meanwhile, I'm clean. Soap is slapping me in the face. He's soaping himself. I can't get out the damn shower until he's done. It doesn't matter if he had to I had to be there, and if I had to leave or go anywhere, I had to have a chaperone. I couldn't leave anywhere by
Wow.
myself.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? It was that bad.
Thank you,
Wow.
Miss Tabitha, for the super chat love. Thank you, praying for you and your channel, and may God continue to give you the strength to continue to bless your channel and order your steps.
I'm
Thank
sorry.
you so much, love.
Come on.
Thank you so much.
Come on.
Batman girl, I respect you
Come
like
on.
a lot. Like this is beyond any YouTube beefing. This is beyond all of that. I really do respect you, and I've grown to like you. So
Mhm.
at the end of the day, I respect my subscribers, the people that are subscribed to me. I got Big Nation, Ryder Lives. I got different people, and I respect everybody. It's not a big
Mhm.
deal to me. But in your case, I just wanted to let you know that I really, really do respect you, and I was happy that you had this live because I've been talking about you on other people's live and on my own live. I mentioned you, so
Mhm.
I was happy
I
that you
appreciate
did this tonight because I just wanted to let you know how much I respect you, and I kind of look up to you in a way. So just keep doing what you're doing. I'm not gonna be on here too long. I love you. I respect you. Q, thank you so much for letting me know that I'm not by myself. Family girl, the same thing. All of you
Yeah,
women, I respect you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. Okay.
no
I'm
problem.
Thank
No
you.
problem,
You're
God bless
girl.
welcome.
all
And
of you guys and your families.
I
Thank
pray
you.
for you too, because
Yeah,
that's
And
not
I'll be
something
in the
that
no
goes
problem.
away. That's something that
thank
doesn't
you
go
so much.
away.
I'm gonna be in the
Yeah.
bridge listening to y'all. God bless y'all. Thank you.
You
Okay,
too.
you too,
All
love.
right then. All right, bye.
Thank you,
Yes.
grown folks. Ladies, leave him if he disrespect you. Just right, just go. And it starts with the verbal. So Q.
Hold
The
on, hold on, hold on 1 second. Hold on.
is to assert power and control. Men already know they are physically stronger. Right. They already know that. They already know that.
Okay, what were you at, Bama?
So did it start with the verbal abuse first and then
Hmm.
gradually?
Hmm.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, it started with the verbal abuse. It
Is
started
that baby girl
there.
coming? You opening the door?
Yeah, she her lift is pulled up. Um, it started with the verbal, mental, then it turned physical.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. And the sad thing
That's
is,
right, Robin.
get back. The sad thing is, he knew that other guys were interested. So instead of, he would take it out on me. Get back. He would take it out on me.
Mm.
He even had some of his frat brothers that used to be like, "You don't need him. You should, go ahead and holler at me." Like, that's your frat brother.
Wow.
Yet
Wow.
you will tell him where I am. Hold on 1 second. You need help?
I didn't now connect that. I
Hold on
didn't
one
have
second.
any red flags. I didn't have any signs. There was nothing. There was nothing. There was never. He never cursed me out. He never. He never cursed. Period. He never disrespected me in any way. Now he was very jealous, but keep in mind when you're very young, you think it's cute, and he will always use, his money as a me now looking back, his money as a way of control. Like when I graduated high school, he bought me a brand new Honda Prelude for graduation, right? So he would always use his money to, I guess, keep me where he
Hmm.
wanted me and me not even know it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Being, me not knowing that that was a control mechanism. That's what that was, and I didn't know it.
What do you want to eat?
So, when it came down to that Sunday and everything came to a head, he already knew what he was going to do to me. That's why it was like everybody was shocked. Everybody was shocked. They could not believe it. All the people that came to visit me at the hospital, they couldn't believe it. His mom came and she laid her head on my leg because I was bandaged from my neck all the way down, both arms, all the way down. Even he was really trying to scald like my vaginal area. I actually had this my right arm was stuck to my right breast and they had to peel that apart. I have the war wounds here, they'll never heal from where that skin was just, they had to peel that all the way apart. And my face, they couldn't even do anything with my face because it was, he told me to put band-aids across here, you know, and tell my mom told me to tell my mom that I got into some of his sports cream. And that's what caused my face to be burned so bad. But all in all, it wasn't because all of the skin was gone off of my face. You know what I'm saying? All of it. And so when I went home, like I said before, when I went home and I turned the light on, and my mom turned over and she looked at me and she just started screaming and she was hitting my dad on the side. Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. and we gotta go to the hospital. So she called, and I had a police escort to the hospital and everything. And it was, I mean, it was horrible. I was in the hospital like for 6 weeks behind that. And I still, I still have to say, but God, because remember, I told y'all, I tried to give it up. Laying in that field, I tried to die. I was in so much pain. I was in so much pain. And I felt like had he found me, he was just going to go ahead on and finish me off, right? Thank you, Rebel. Abusive men usually have grown up with fathers that were abusive to their mothers. Yeah, yeah, but like in my case, no, his dad was sweeter. His dad was sweet as pie. It was his mom that was so paranoid schizophrenic, diagnosed, and then I'm coming to find out, because it's hereditary, and I think that's what he was going through. So
I'm sorry, Bam.
huh?
Okay, I probably will be back. I'm going to sit here and talk to this young lady, but
Okay,
I will probably be back if you're still live, okay?
okay, baby.
All right, guys, everyone in the chat, I will talk to you guys later. All right.
Okay, babe. But yeah, so it wasn't. I mean, yeah, she did say no connect die. She told me, she warned me, but I was too busy, thinking it was cute and it was cool because he would buy me whatever I want, and because I didn't have to ask for anything or want for anything or need for anything. All through, I mean, high school, my mom and dad never put a stitch of clothes on my back. They didn't have to. He beat them to the punch. He would always beat them to the punch. So I mean, it was like, me, I'm thinking it's cute. Even, even like with me even being in the band, I'm thinking it's cute because I could look, out the bus window, out the back, and see the Mustang because he had a Mustang. I could see the Mustang behind the bus, following the bus. He went to every game, every parade. He would walk the entire parade with me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm thinking it's cute. Oh, it's so cute. He loved me so much. Oh my goodness. I felt like I was blessed to, be with a young man that was so and he was so intelligent, that was so generous. I felt like that was a gift, but it wasn't. It wasn't, because just like I told y'all last night, you're gonna pay on the front end or the back end, but you gonna pay. And I did not know that. He was older than me, Sarah. He was 3 years older than I was. Yes, 3 years older than I was. Yeah, John, he was, but yep, jealousy. And he was very jealous. But I, being a young girl, I didn't look at it as being as jealousy. I thought it was he was more overprotective. That's what I said. I said he's very overly protective because even with like in high school, I was a socialite. I did everything, and he made sure he was right there while I was doing everything. I was in the step club. I was on the dance team. He was right there every step of the way, paying for everything. Oh, they mad, girl. Shush, Trish, they mad. Mm. Right, Ness, jealousy does kill. And see, the thing about that is I did not know, I didn't see it to be jealousy because I didn't know. I thought I just didn't know. And those probably were warning signs, were red flags that I should have been paying attention to, but I didn't know that they were warning signs. You know what I'm saying? So it's not. I saw domestic abuse firsthand in my family. See, I didn't rebel, and the thing about it was, because my dad was never verbally abusive to my mom, physical, nothing. So I didn't know what to look for. I thought that he was doing what he was supposed to do because that's what I saw my dad do for my mom. He took care of her. So I mean, it wasn't right. Right. He was very insecure, and that's what I said. Sitting back looking now, he was insecure, and he had no reason to be. He had no reason to be insecure. And I found that out when I came home unexpectedly, because normally he would know when I was coming home. I agree. I agree. But let me tell you what, his dad and mom came over to our house, and right, that was a heinous crime. And then to look at me, you know what I'm saying? To look at me. It was crazy. The first 3 weeks I was in the hospital, they would not let me see my face. I could see my other body parts, and so I could just imagine what my face looked like, because it took it took most of the boiling water. My face did. My face took the most. And to look at me now, people be like, no, no, yeah, yes. Yes. And anytime, and when I was telling my mom about, that I had came on to the stream and was telling you guys my story, she started crying, because what happened was she pulled out the pictures, because she still has the pictures. And she pulled out the pictures, and she said, "You mean to tell me that you went through all of this, and you or I mean, because we never talked about it. And you went on a platform where you don't know anybody and told them everything that happened to you." I said, "Mom, yes, I did." And so she was crying. And so she took out the pictures, and she said, "Do you remember this?" So she started me crying. She started me crying all over again, because it brought back so many memories that, during that time span, especially early on, the first week, I know they had me so heavily sedated, and just I couldn't remember. I could not remember. She was like, "Because I was there from the moment you got there until the moment you went home. I was there, so I remember." And you mean she couldn't fathom? She could not fathom. She could not process. How could I talk about it? How could I talk about, what happened? And she was, and she still is. She was and still is. She's very supportive. She got right up. She was right there. She just sat there and she looked at the pictures, and she just cried and cried and cried. And I had to listen to her. She said, "And you don't know what that did to me as your mother, to have to sit there day after day and watch you, as my baby, have to lay there in pain and suffer because of what somebody else did." She said, "You don't know what it did to me as a mother." I said, and so she let me now. So I listened to her talk, and she told me, what she was going through. She said that was the most hurtful thing a mother could go through, having to lay there. She said, and I pray to God every day. Every day, people were surrounding my bed, praying for me, praying over me, crying, and praying that I was going to recover fully. You know what I'm saying? And for the most part, I did. For the most part, I did. You guys can see. And like me, I don't wear makeup. I don't wear like foundation. Now I wear some liner and some lashes, but like foundation that like has to cover spots and this, I don't do that. I don't have to do it, because God took care of it all. Where I had no skin, He put new skin. You understand what I'm saying? Where I did not know, He knew. So I had to. I was a full-grown woman before I could even grasp that concept. He did. He did heal me. He did. He did. He did. And now come to find out, the my ex that actually did it has lost his mind completely. Has lost his mind completely. So like I say, you know, you'll pay on the front end or the back end, but you gonna pay. You will pay. Yes. So I have to be grateful, and I have to be thankful, because it could have been the other way. I could have been walking around, with the skin still gone, looking like he is a restorer. He is God is love. And because I know, and my dad told me, he said, baby, every time I see you, you are a walking testimony. You yourself are walking around here. You are a miracle, baby. You don't even know what you look like unless you saw it on pictures. They had to show you. Oh, thank you, Tammy. Okay, baby. In some countries like India, men have thrown acid, oh my goodness, on the faces of women. I watched the documentary, and I think I saw that on the movie. Wow, I can relate to you. Love my ex-boyfriend threw hot bleach. Oh, in my face. Oh my God. Jarita. Mm. And Phoebe, you know what? And that's what I say. I have to count my blessings, and I do. You know what I'm saying? I do. And so once my grandmother told me, right, Lala, it takes a very weak, insecure man to take out his frustrations on the woman that loves him, the closest person to him. That mm-mm. Nobody can tell me. Nobody can even make me understand it. Why would you? Why would you? Why? Why? What was when you asked him, and I haven't talked to him ever. I haven't talked to him since. So I've never had the opportunity to ask him why. Lord have mercy. We over here having a decent conversation, a well-needed conversation, and you still got the trolls, child. Yeah. So we don't ever know what, our sisters and brothers are going through, because males are also victims of domestic violence as well. What if they're the one that you have, John? Now, John, you don't ever come on the platform. Is tonight your night? Mm-mm-mm. Drita. Right, baby, right. Sorry, Phoebe. I sometimes, for those of us that have experienced domestic violence and things traumatic have happened to us, by the hands of someone that was supposed to love us, you know what I'm saying? It's good to talk about it. It's good to have these types of conversations because you never know who's going through it, who needs to hear it, who may need the help. You never know. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're in a domestic violence situation. You never know. It's right there, boo. What's up, babe?
Bama, girl,
Huh?
you really got me in my feelings tonight. Okay, this is like some Oprah Winfrey type shit. Okay, I'm just trying to get used to this. Okay, so hold on, let me get my computer so I can give y'all some. So Bama, let me ask you, like, okay, you made reference to a couple of things or whatever. So I wanted to ask you, like, I don't know why I care or why this is even important to me. But if you had to say, because you said it happened one time and
Uh-huh.
that was the worst time,
Hmm.
but did you get any like clues? Like, was there anything that showed you there was nothing before that?
Nothing. Nothing.
And that one time was the so can you I don't know if you don't mind, but do you mind saying what exactly happened to you or you don't want to talk about it?
Oh no, the more I talk about it, that's what's more therapeutic for me. The more I talk about it.
Okay.
Babe,
So
I'm gonna
please
bring
let me can I hear that
home.
story?
Huh?
Can I hear your story of exactly what happened to you?
Yeah, you can. I don't mind.
Mhm.
No, I don't, Brooklyn Star. I don't get flashbacks, baby. I don't. Not even now mentioning it. I don't have flashbacks. Um, came to pick me up, said his mom wanted to talk to me. And so I said, okay. His brother had a trailer, that you can hook on the back of the truck. Turn me down. I'm hold on, let me see. Yeah, Ruffles, I put you on mute, babe. Hold on, boo. Um, but yeah, he took me. He went in there, and it started from there. It started from there. He had already planned out what he was going to do. The first thing he did was because the water was already hot. The first thing he did was picked up the pot and threw it in my face. And so I just held my face and I'm screaming. And as he's doing it, he just kept boiling it, boiling the water, boiling more water, pouring it on me, pouring it everywhere, pouring it here, dashing in my face, dashing it in my vaginal area, dashing it. I was saturated everywhere. I was wrapped from here to my knees because all of the skin, they tried to
And
sabotage.
how long was y'all together before he did that to you?
I 4 years.
Wow.
4 years. I was a freshman in college when it happened.
So what happened? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And once he did that, and mind you, I'm naked. It was 27 degrees that night. And so he took me into after he got finished because the Super Bowl came on and went off. He was doing it during the whole time. After that, he took me down this long road, and he told me to get out. And I said, well, can I get my clothes? And he said, get out. So me being thankful that I'm still alive, I just got out and he drove off. And I started running in the opposite direction that he drove off in, just in case he tried to turn around and come back.
Right.
And so he did turn around. And so as he was driving up and down this street, I'm in the ditch. I'm in the ditches. Every time he would pass by, I would lay down in the ditch. Every time I would lay down in the ditch so he wouldn't see me. Then I got up and I jumped through a barbed wire fence, cut both my sides up. I was bleeding, both of these was bloody, and I just laid there in that field. I just laid there and I was trying to die. I was in so much pain and I was so cold. and I was trying to die, and my great grandmother, the same one that told me that this man gonna hurt you bad one day, she came to me and she said, "It's not your time. You still have work to do." And so, and she was standing up over me, and I'm looking up, and I'm thinking, I'm still trying. I wouldn't go. I couldn't die. I wanted to. And so he's the one that found me in the field. He is the one. He pulled me back through the barbed wire fence, took me back to the trailer where he did all that, told me to put my clothes on, and told me to tell my mom that I got into some of his sports cream. And that's how I got burned. And from there, I went to the hospital.
And then
You,
when you got out of the hospital, you didn't go back to him, right?
oh no,
That was it?
never.
Wow.
Mm-mm. I never went back to him. No, oh no, ma'am. Because he would have, I know he would have killed me the next time.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
I know he would
You
have.
right. Yep. hmm
And
Now,
I,
but
and
girl, let me just say this.
I appreciate my mother and my father. I appreciate everybody that surrounded me during that time. Everybody surrounded me and hovered over me and prayed for me. And I mean, it was because and I'm thinking, oh my God, I must look like, oh my God, everybody that came in the room, everybody that came in the room initially started to cry. Everybody, because they couldn't believe it. And then me looking at the pictures, once my mom let me see them, I had to too. I could see the rest of my body, but I did not know that my face, I did not know if my face would ever heal. Yes, Phoebe Fee. Yes, he went to jail, and he didn't even have to sit in jail overnight because his dad and the mayor were brothers. So see, when you have money, money gets you out of a lot of things.
Yeah, it does.
And so the more I talk about it, the better off I am. Because it was just the first time you guys, I talked to it, for the first time to you guys. How did I leave? Where, baby? Oh, he took me back home. He took me back home, Drita. He took me back to my mom's house after he told me what to tell her. And I was just agreeing, okay, 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 everything that he wanted me to do and say, okay, 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 just get me
Yeah.
home to my mother. Get me home to my parents I know that are going to take care of me. Hey, Lolo, come through, grown folks. Hey, boo,
Wow. Hey, mama. Hey,
how you
ladies.
feeling?
Hey.
Oh, man, you got me all choked up over
Well,
here.
but give me okay, Papa. 1 second.
Okay,
Yeah,
baby.
I want to say I admire your strength and your courage. That's first of all. And I wanted to come up because I think it's about us men. I think the definition of being a man and dominating their women and all of that bull crap, they think that makes them a man. And it's our responsibility, brothers, to teach our younger brothers not to act like this because it's not what men do. I put in your
Right,
chat that the test of a man is not what he will do, but what he won't do. That's how you
right,
know you got a real good man. It's not what he will do. And when you start seeing the signs, you have to nip it in the bud immediately. If he calls you out your name, that's a start. That's a beginning. The
right.
disrespect. If
Yeah,
he acting like he gonna hit you or push you, that's the beginning. All of the signs are there. You don't have to forgive him because of his excuses of how he was raised or he had a bad day at work, leave him. If you
Yes.
like him, love him, care about him, leave him. Call your daddy. And for the fathers out there, and I'm not gonna stay here long. I just want to say this to my brothers. This is why it's important for us as men to be a part of our daughters' lives. And so
Mm-hmm.
that these men out here who haven't been raised correctly can understand, if you touch my child, there's going to be a price to pay.
Yes.
And it's our responsibility to protect our women and our children. That's how I measure my manhood. Accountability. It ain't
Mm-hmm.
about arguing and putting my hands on a woman. I am a man. I can walk away. You can push me, punch me. It ain't gonna hurt me. I'm gonna get away from you. Go ahead
Right.
on now. Take it easy. And guess what? I ain't gonna be bothered with you no more because you
Right.
like to fight.
Right.
You know, you don't have to test yourself as a man against a woman. And I just can't appreciate it. I was telling you in there that my grandmother killed a man in 1972. 1972, she killed a man. And see, I was raised a certain way. My grandmother killed a man. He came in the house drunk, wanting to argue and fight. His favorite word for her was bitch. This is why I
Mm.
don't like to hear men call a woman a bitch, because it reminds me of the story my grandmother told me when I was 10, 11 years old. She told me he came in the house drunk and he calls her bitch. Bitch, where you at? Bitch, what you doing? And
Mm.
she was ironing clothes. She was ironing. This is when I found out my grandmother was deaf in one ear.
Mm.
He came in. I came into the room where my grandmother was ironing one day, and I looked at her arm, and I noticed that the burn mark on her arm looked just like an iron. And I said, Grandma, how you burn yourself on your arm way up there on her shoulder? You know, the top part of an iron, how it get pointy, and then it's got the
Yeah,
holes in it.
right.
And I looked at her arm. I said, Grandma, how you burn yourself like that? And she called me dude. She said, dude, let me tell you. And she told me the story then. I was 10 years old. I'll never forget that for the rest of my life. He came in drunk, and she was ignoring him because she knew he was drunk. And he grabbed the
Mm.
iron and he burnt her on her arm. She ran
Wow.
away from him. He punched her. He punched her on the side of her head so hard he broke a bone on the side
Wow.
of her ear that
Mm.
damaged her eardrum, and she was deaf in one ear for the rest of her life. And she
Wow.
ran into the kitchen. This is what my grandma told me. She ran into the kitchen and he followed behind her and he was hitting her. And she reached over and she grabbed a knife and she hit him one time in the chest and it punctured his heart and he died immediately. In 1972, she killed her abuser. Now, let me say this,
Thank you, baby,
and
for the cash out.
I hate to say it, but I'm glad he's dead.
Right.
But I was raised not to disrespect women. I was raised not to call women bitches. I was raised to protect. I couldn't wait to be 16, 17, 18 so I can fight for my mother, fight for my grandmother.
Right.
We got to raise our little boys that this is unacceptable.
Yeah.
It's totally unacceptable.
I wish one
I
of my
don't,
sons would.
well, you know what? Let me tell you something. Don't tell your son, because your son, if that man's still alive, your son will stomp him in the ground. Even though it might have been 20 years ago before he was born, he would
It
still
was.
stomp that man in the ground. And
It was. It was way
ladies,
before he was born.
yes, you got to leave. If you don't got somewhere to go, find somewhere to go, call some, just leave.
Right.
Don't stay. You can't fix him. A lot of times it's like
Right.
you want to take the blame. Well, maybe if I didn't do this, he wouldn't have did that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter
Right.
what you did. There is no excuse for him. And you can't make
Right.
excuses for a man that puts his hands on you.
Right.
Don't
Right.
do that. Just leave, go. Call somebody, get away, and then call the
And
police, get a
and
restraining order,
yeah. So that's why I
and
mean
all
it
of those.
happens so many times. Why didn't you leave the first time, babe?
Because home wasn't better than him. If I would have left him and went home, I would have still been suffering the same thing. So I equated what I was dealing with as better than what I would have encountered at home. But wow, I didn't even expect to be this. I don't know why I'm so like I didn't expect for it to be like this. But
It's
I'm just
okay, baby.
Are
but
sis? Are you out of that situation, right?
yeah, but he's gonna get out next year. He's getting out next year, and he lives like 5 minutes away from my house. So
Okay,
you know,
leave, move. Do you want to move? Do you
it's
want to go
easier. It's
someplace?
easy. It's easier said than done. Like it's easier. It's not that easy. Like you just can't up and move when this is all you got and all you know. But I've had people reach out to me that's trying to help me out. But as far as moving is concerned, I mean I can't just leave the way you say it. It's not that
No,
easy.
no. I get it. I get it. I get it. But if people are here to help you, you can move. You can start a new life. It's better to live. It's better to find a way to get away. You got time. You
Yeah.
got time.
Right,
You ain't got
right,
to stay
right,
5 minutes away from him. You don't have
right.
to do that. You can choose to start a new life, a new beginning. Don't wait to see if he learned his lesson, if he gonna
No,
act
I don't want
crazy.
to know. I don't want to know. I don't
I was
want
just
to. I
about
don't
to
want to know.
say, always keep those pictures in your phone as a
Right,
visual to what you don't want to be.
right.
Exactly. Exactly. You find a way. I'm gonna get off here and let y'all women talk to her. But if you were my sister, my daughter, my mother, I'd tell you to get away. Get away. Don't wait. Go someplace else. And make
Hmm.
sure you keep that restraining order on him. If you see him, don't walk the other way. Call the police. You got a brother? Let your brother know. Where you at? I'll come down there. I can't stand a man to put his hands on a woman. I can't stand it. I mean that with all my heart. I
Oh,
can't stand it.
okay. Where you at? You know he'll pull up.
And that's real talk. I don't like it at all. Because if you want to try yourself as a man, try me. I'll give you
Right.
everything you want as a man. And as a man, you're supposed to walk away. That's the rule. That's the rule.
Right.
But if you can't do nothing else, sis, leave. Think about it. Think about it hard. Think about it hard. Take your babies and find someplace else. You can have a good life someplace else. If he's in jail, you got plenty of time because you know where he at.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Bama. And Bama,
No
this
problem.
is a
Thank you for coming
dynamite
on.
show. Yes, ma'am. Beautiful show. Y'all stay
Thank you
strong.
so much. I appreciate you. Thank
Thank
you
you
for your
so much,
time.
grown
Yes,
folks.
ma'am. All right. Peace. Love y'all. Real talk.
You
All of
Okay.
us
too.
ain't the
Thank
same.
you.
All of us are not the same. Okay?
Yeah,
Peace.
we know. Now, because you know when he's getting out, you have a year to prepare.
Right. Right.
And you're right, it is easier said than done, but baby, you have to, because guess what he's thinking? He's thinking that he's gonna come home, you're gonna be forgiven, and you're gonna be right back in that same thing. That's why I want you to keep those pictures. Keep in mind. Keep remembering the stitching cord. Keep remember the hammer. Remember it. And know that you are enough, sis. Know that you are enough. You understand what I'm saying? You are enough, baby.
Yeah.
You have to love you more than anybody else can.
Oh, baby. I know you got to get it out. I know you got to get it out.
She got to get it out.
You got to get it out. Now, how long has you been in jail?
I'm sorry. I'm
Since
sorry.
18.
I'm
Since
sorry.
18. I want you what you can do, and I think you should do, is take your power back. Take your power back, baby girl. Get you go to the gun range, get you protection. And I'm gonna tell you what a undercover policeman told me when I was still working at the hair cutter, and I had that guy who used to beat me, rape me, gave my son a concussion, a skull fracture. um Let me tell you, I was beat, and I went through it too. What you got to do, baby, is you got to get mad. You know what I'm saying? And you got to take back your power. Take back your power. Go on. I bought two guns. I bought the what did I buy? I bought the 25 Raven semi-automatic, and I bought the 38 snub nose Taurus. Now I went to the gun range and I learned how to use it. And what the undercover cop told me, whose hair I used to cut at the hair cuttery, he said, I want you to go and buy. He said, keep your gun on you because I got a permit to carry. He said, keep your gun on you. He said also buy switchblade. He
Thank
said
you,
that way,
Andrea.
if you have to shoot him, you can walk up to him like you trying to check and make sure he okay and put that switchblade in his hand. Okay? And all of a sudden it's self-defense.
Wait a minute, hold on, cuz hold on.
Mhm.
Nash, where are
Yeah.
you located, baby?
I'm in Florida.
You in Florida?
Yeah.
With me?
I'm in Miami, Florida. Yeah. I'm in Miami, Florida.
Oh no, ma'am. Absolutely not. Which prison is he in? Or he in
He's
regular
in.
jail?
He's no. He's in prison. He's in prison over in
Miami
Doral.
Dade?
In Doral. In Doral, Miami.
I wish you knew somebody who could do him like I got like I had a friend, his brother did that guy who beat me. Oh yes, Lord. He got beat himself by several guys for 3 whole weeks, tied up in a warehouse, just disappeared. I didn't even know what was happening until years later. And this man got beat so bad. When I saw him and they made him come apologize to me, this man, and I had already had to forgive him for me. And this man is on his knees. I turn around from the bank and he is on his knees, face tore up. I mean, beat down, like stomped down. And he was just begging for forgiveness. I'm so sorry. Lord, please forgive me. Please forgive me. And I'm looking like, what in the entire world has happened here? Where he come from? What happened? And I look around because it's early Saturday morning before I go into the hair cuttery, and I look around and there's these two guys sitting in this car. What was a Cutlass back then or whatever, sitting in the souped up Cutlass, and honey, they was just sitting there watching him. And I was like, I forgive you. Look, I was scared because this man looked like he's been beat with all kinds of stuff. But when I found out a little over a year later that a friend of my assistant manager, not a friend, her brother, had gotten out of prison and knew him and just happened to not like him. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
him and his friends went and rounded him up, kidnapped him, and brought him to the warehouse out there in Norfolk. Oh, they beat him, honey. Oh, he lost teeth. Yeah, he lost teeth. Oh my God. Ness, when I saw him, and this man was used to beat me like crazy. So when I saw him looking like Eddie Lumpkin, he looked like somebody that rolled over him with their car, came back and did it again, and then got out and started beating him. I was just like, oh my God. If I could have taken a picture, Ness, that would have been a thumbnail that I would use forever and ever more. That man, I ain't never had no problem. This man he stalked me for over 5 years. Yes, he did. When I stayed with him before I graduated high school, the night before, he grabbed my head or my hair and
Thank you, Miss Lady Low.
slammed me into the daggone passenger door window. I thought the thing was gonna crack. I went to my graduation with a concussion, child. I don't even remember half of it, but he got it
Um,
back. Oh yes.
yes, he did. Tenfold. Q, can you please drop Nessa's channel, please? If you're still in here, baby, can you drop her channel? Robbie S. Mary, what's going on, babe?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hey,
We
baby.
doing good.
Hold on. I'm on live. I'm on live. I was talking to my son. So my incident happened where I met this guy and that like my son doesn't even know about this. Like he was very first of all, I wanted to say that this is not a man beating situation. Like we're not beating up on no men because I don't want the men that's in the chat to feel some kind of way because this is not what this is.
No.
But I met a guy that was very generous to me, and I was a homeowner before I met him. Um, he but he believed in me, but he was jealous. So
Mm.
if I came home late from work, where you was at? It started with little stuff like that, not to go to Target or Walmart, but he believed in my dreams though. So I was a I told you before that I'm a retired correctional officer.
Yeah.
And that my son father is a captain and I was on a
I heard you say it last night, girl. That's why I said white shirt.
and and so I was a correctional officer homeowner before I met him. I carry a gun. I have a permit to carry a gun. I can shoot. We taught to kill, not to just to aim, to lame or something like that. And so when it started out, he was good to me, and I wanted to go back to school. I want to show you. At first, he said, "You want to go back to school? Go to school." My first degree.
All right,
Yeah.
baby.
You
Yes.
know. So then I
Good.
my second degree, but he was still real jealous. So then he still the last straw is when he pulled my hair out.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I was so embarrassed because how can you talk to I had to go to my hairstylist, which is my one of my best friends, and say, cut my hair. And I had to tell her what happened.
Yeah.
And people think that it can't happen to them.
Right.
I'm not dumb.
Right.
I'm working towards my second bachelor's degree. And, I've always did well. And I don't, I mean, you want companionship because, everybody wants companionship,
True.
but it's not like I'm needy. And so,
Right.
this happened out
Good.
of nowhere. And when I was embarrassed because I was like, how did it happen to me?
How did
I'm
it happen to
a
you?
retired correctional officer, 20 years. I worked on a gun range. I did this, all these accomplishments. I even went to the Ohio State, but I graduated from Coppin. So,
Because I was about to
I
say,
got
now,
my stuff
girl,
together.
what happened to all that training? We had to go through because when I went through and became a correction officer, all that training we had to go through, girl, what was the
I fought
training?
him back. I fought back. But when at first it was like Rebel Sun said earlier, it starts with verbal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Verbal stuff.
Yeah.
You let go, and then when you
Hey,
really go,
BBK.
and he just loved me. Oh, he loved me.
Yeah.
And
Right.
like you just ignore the signs.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I'm so single right now because if you give me any, which is not fair to the next person. And this is not yesterday. This
Right.
happened years ago. I'm
Right.
talking about maybe about 16 years ago now.
Mm-hmm.
A long time ago. But if you give me any inkling that you're needy, you need to be around me every second of the day. You gotta watch me. You insecure, all of those. I
Yeah.
drop you like it's a bad habit. And it's easy. That's my 47-year-old self. But I'm telling you, and I can share it now because at first I was so embarrassed. I was
Yeah.
so
Mm-hmm.
embarrassed to have to come to people because I know better. My training, like you said, my
Right.
training. Girl, is that a boob?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Not finger tap. That's finger. But My training taught me better.
I cannot. I cannot.
Unless you was showing us boobs, girl.
No,
No,
that was
one.
knuckles.
Thank you for the show, Ness.
Look right there. Is that a boo?
Ooh, Ness.
Girl.
But yeah, and every time I hear somebody talk about it, and it makes me sad because I understand when
Right.
somebody is so angry enough that they pull your hair out from your. He pulled my hair out, and I want to say this too. My sister went through the same thing, and when you talking about them, like we went through the burns, he killed her 3 children in a house fire, like the burning bed.
What?
And you can look it up in Baltimore, Maryland. 3 kids died in a house fire in 1987. That happened. Baltimore,
Oh
Maryland. That's
wow.
where it happened at. And yeah, and
God.
it's for real. And he was good to her, but he was possessive and controlling and stuff. Like he gave her, like things, tangible
Yeah.
things that if you work hard enough, you can buy yourself.
Right.
And so
Right.
I don't ignore no signs at all. And just like I was saying too, I'm not in a position to help her because I got this college student home. But I wish I could because God bless you. Because if you don't think that you need somebody, just live a
Yeah.
little longer. Because you will.
Yeah.
You don't have to be
Yeah.
domestic
Mhm.
violence. You lose your job. Like my son is going to school for engineering, but everybody right at home is there going unemployed.
Right.
It
Yeah.
can happen to anybody.
Oh yeah. And you find yourself in that situation, and you're just wondering, how the hell did I get here?
You look around and you just look from side to side. And I said, when it first happened, I said, Lord, if you just bless me to get out of this, I will never do it again. And I will sleep on the floor, and I have
Hmm.
before I dealt with something like that.
Yeah.
So I just want to say to you, Bama girl, and everybody that's in the chat and that's sharing their story, thank you for bringing it to light because right now,
Yeah.
because of this pandemic and stuff, people are stuck in the house with their
Right.
abuser, and it needs to be talked about. And
Yes.
it's not to say that we
Hmm.
have triggered something or anything like that. Like this really is happening.
It
Yes,
is. It is.
it is
It's
happening.
it's happening.
Someone jump back in the chat. Thank y'all for I
Thank
told
you
the
so
story.
much
I
for
wish I
coming
told
on.
my story
YBS
without
Mary,
crying.
telling us your story, love bug.
Without crying.
Absolutely. You are one strong woman, my love.
Y'all have a good one. I'm gonna jump back
Okay,
in the chat.
Ness.
Man, Bama. This
Hey,
stuff
Bama girl.
Andrea.
so deep.
Hey,
Hey,
Bama
boo.
girl. You know what? Every time I hear your story, it and when people ask, did I see the signs? Because I was a witness. My ex-boyfriend, he was younger. He was 28 and I was 36. I had my degree. I was fresh out of my divorce and we started dating. I didn't know at the time, maybe about 6 months into the relationship, he was on parole.
What?
And yes, he was on parole, and I didn't know because he didn't tell me, and I didn't find out until like 6 months into the relationship. And he was possessive, and me and my best friend we fought over him because she was like, "It's something about him. I don't like him. He might be cute, but it's something about him. Give me a rage. Give me the sign." And because my
Mm-hmm.
Right.
and because my best friend has been through domestic violence with her parents, she was like, the way he grabbed me around your neck. I don't like that. I don't like that. And so I was like, he cool. So we fell out. And I was going to work one night. He had my car because I was the one who had the 2 jobs. He didn't have no car, and he had my car. And I was like, "Look, dude, I gotta go to work tonight." And he came home and tried to strangle me to death.
Oh man.
Mm.
And yes, and so I fought with him, and I was able to
Yeah.
get him off me. And then I went to work. My eyes were bloodshot, and so my job, when my best friend see me, she knew something was wrong with me. My kids were at their dad. Took me to the hospital. They called my brother and my dad. Them all came, and then all my friends and family found out, and they was like looking for the dude. All the guys at the barbershop that my friends
Yeah.
looking for the dude because they wasn't happy it happened to me, but they gave him 10 years in prison.
Good.
Yes.
They gave him 10 years. But did I see a sign? Yeah, he did cuss me out. He had called me out in my name. And so it took me a long time to trust a man. And
Yeah.
when a man do and in my last relationships I have been in, I have told the guy I was in a relationship with, I told them that I've been through a domestic violence situation. And so I like, look, if you're going to call me out my name, or if you yell at me the wrong way, we're done. We're just done.
Yeah.
We're done, because I just feel like I'm not, I don't feel safe. And so it's red flags. It was some red flags I ignored. I should listen to my best friend. And now, when I do meet guys, the first person I call is her. They meet her. We check them out. We do a little more investigating before I'm gonna be. I'm become the FBI now, because I just don't want to. I'm not put my ex-husband, I wasn't trying to put him in jail, but the prosecutor came so hard at me that he subpoenaed my ex-husband and my children. I was like, oh, hell no. I said, when you come to my kids, I said, oh no. I said, I'll testify now. Because now my ex-husband got to testify, and the children, I'm not putting my kids through that. But when CPS came and they tried to get involved, and they tried to get involved, and then my ex-husband said, look at here. My ex-wife is a wonderful mother. I trust her with my kids. So y'all need to stay out of our business.
Thank you, Abby.
Because
right.
he's like, she's a wonderful mother. She ain't never, we family, we know each other. And so when that happened, he checked on me more too, and the kids, when that happened to me. But I don't have flashbacks, but sometimes maybe have a dream, feel like his hands is around my neck. And so I had went to therapy, but it took me a long time to feel comfortable in my own bed. I never went back to that house. After that scene happened at that apartment, my sister and my ex-husband packed our shit and moved to a new place.
That's cool.
I never went back to that apartment again. So I tell women, and look at the signs. And I never dated another guy in prison. I was like, you got a criminal record, you've been in jail. I don't give a damn.
I don't do jailbirds.
Yeah, I never dated another guy. And I told him, I said, you might be a performing person, you might be a new person, but I can't trust you. I don't want to know you.
I know. Right. Sorry, we can be friends, but that's about it.
But
I don't. Yeah, that's too much of a risk, considering what you've already gone through. No, ma'am.
Yeah. And so and I'll just tell
and I'm sorry to say that, because I know not all guys went to prison for beating up on women and everything, but the good have to suffer with the bad.
Yeah. And so I just became cautious now. I just became my mom and dad didn't like it, so I became cautious the minute I do date now, and who's around my children. I have more walls that I'm like, you're not getting that close to me. And so I just be cautious of who I date and who will come around my kids now.
That's
because
true.
Because you just never know. And people sometimes they be nice, but in the next instant they're crazy and deranged. And I'm not putting myself through that again. Never in life.
They put the representative out there first.
Yeah. They crazy.
Right.
They crazy and deranged. I'm not putting myself through that again. But it was a difficult time that first couple months after the situation. We moved, and we probably moved like three more times. And one time I went back to my Facebook page, and I seen he tried again to contact me on my Facebook page. I made sure that he blocked me. I changed my phone number almost 3 or 4 times. And my friends say I'm good about changing my phone number. I would change my phone number real quick. If I feel like you ain't right, I would change my phone number real quick. So my friends say I have a habit of changing my phone number. They would say, girl, you got a new phone number? So that's the ways I have done it, like keeping him at bay. He don't know where I live. I move a lot. I do move a lot, and change my phone number a lot. And so
what? You should be comfortable where you at. You shouldn't have to be going and moving all the time.
No, I don't do that no more. I don't do that no more. But I do change my number a lot. It's just a habit. Like I'll change my number every year or so. It's just a habit I've been doing. But I haven't did it in the last 2 years now.
It takes me too long to remember the damn stuff like that.
But I haven't did it. But I feel more safer than I ever have now. But I did learn how to shoot too.
That's right.
Yeah.
I did learn. I don't carry, but I mean, I don't have a gun at home, but I learned how to shoot because I have kids. But I did learn how
Yeah.
to shoot because my ex-husband was like, I teach the kids. My daughter, she know how to shoot. Her daddy showed her how to
Right.
shoot a gun. And when he first taught her, I was like, don't do that, don't do that. He was like, girl, is you crazy? This our daughter, and she might have to protect herself. And then I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
you know, I and my daughter, I be telling her the signs to look for, and I even talk to my son. Like I'm like, don't fight a woman. If something happens, just walk away. You just walk
Yeah.
away. I don't want to see you in
Right.
jail. I don't want to see you in jail for domestic violence. I don't care what she say. And my fact is, let me handle it. And your sister, okay, you walk
Right.
away. You walk away. We'll handle it. You walk away. But I try to, I tell him it's a greater man to walk away.
That's true.
It's to walk away and say this is not worth it. And I told him even his daddy never put his hands on me. So and I don't cuss him out and call him everything but a son of God. And so he never they're disrespectful to me. So I tell my son all the time to walk away.
That's true. But
And
now
that's the best advice you can give him.
it is very hard to walk away. And I tell my daughters the same thing. Don't throw no blows that you can't take.
No.
Yep.
Right. Go ahead, Phoebe.
Yep.
I don't mind, baby.
Hey, Rebel.
Hey, Rebel.
y'all. You know what? I applaud all of you ladies because people that haven't been in that situation, it's something that you can hear someone else when they've gone through it. It's empowering to someone that may be facing that. And I was saying that I grew up around domestic abuse a lot of times because my grandfather was very abusive to my grandmother before I was born. If anyone would have told me that, I would have not believed them because he was the perfect grandfather. He did. And I didn't see that side. I didn't see that person. But my grandfather used to go out there. He was a womanizer, making babies everywhere. And when the women out there in the street would piss him off, he would come home to my grandmother and jump on her. And
Wow.
he was very, my grandmother got to the point where when she would argue with him, she would stand by the stove and be cooking. So she knew that was her protection.
Right.
Okay.
He came from, his father was abusive. So he picked those traits up, and that's how he handled. And he was a mama's boy. His mother, and this is what I say, when you see sons that are treating girlfriends a certain kind of way, don't stand behind that. Because my grandfather's mother condoned his behaviors because he was her boy, and she was, he was the apple of her eye, and no one was good enough for him. But she knew he was out there cheating on my grandmother with all these different women, and she protected her son.
That's true.
My mother tells stories of them having to jump on him because he was jumping on their mothers. So it caused my mother to be one of those types of women that didn't take nothing off of a man. She was quick to cut you off at the knees with quickness.
That's what it's about. Now you gotta protect your babies. When Anthony got a skull fracture from the guy who was beating on me, and I had to, we're at the hospital, and I have to explain to my people, my mama, and because he had kept me isolated from everybody. So
that's one of the signs too.
Hadn't talked to my friends. I barely talked to my mom because he would be right there watching and listening.
Wow.
And to see that this child now got a skull fracture, and he says he walked into the corner of the dresser, and oh my gosh, it was so, just like YBS Mary said, it was so embarrassing.
Yeah.
So embarrassing. How do you explain your son, your 2-year-old son, just walking into a dresser and on the corner at that? No.
You know what? I remember having to jump on my uncle me and like my mother and one of my aunts, because his son's mother, my uncle knew he was out there doing dirt behind his baby mama's back, but he would start arguments and fights with her so he could go out.
Mm.
And I remember him going in her purse, taking money out of her purse, or taking the car keys. And when I got older and he was still seeing her from time to time, and I used to tell her, do you want to go home? Do you want to leave this relationship in a body bag?
Okay.
Right.
And I said, because that's my uncle. I love my uncle. I said, but it's not, you shouldn't be a punching bag for any man.
Thank you.
Yep.
I remember we had to jump on him because he was trying to fight her. And it was me, my brother and sister there. And he jumped on her because he wanted to go out again this particular night. And my sister she was crying. And me and my brother jumped on him like to stop him from fighting. And we were only like about 17 and 18, like around that age. But he had a tendency of, he saw his father doing it. And he
Right.
thought it was okay because my grandmother stayed with my grandfather. She had 9 kids with him. And it was a
Thank you,
different,
Robin.
it was a different family dynamic back then because women were raised to be the supporter of you were raised that the husband was the head of the household. You were in church, you stand beside your man, you pray to God that it's going to get better, but you don't leave that man, you stick with him till death. But the death is sometimes at the hands of that man, and you're the one that's dying.
Yep.
Exactly.
I'm not telling you where I'm at. Stand by your man. No, thank you. Mm-mm.
Right.
Mm-mm.
Oh yes. Yeah. Somebody, who was it that was saying, asked about talking about emotional abuse? That was Tenacity. Emotional abuse is just as bad, sometimes if not worse, than
Right. Because that
physical.
plays on your mental.
Oh yes. Oh yes. I mean, my gosh. To mess with your mind, to get hit, and I mean, he knocked out one of my bottom teeth, and luckily they were able to save it and put wires through it to hook it to the other ones. And to hear somebody say after all of that, why did you make me do that? I love you. I love you. And you don't really know exactly what that kind of love is, because I was 17, 18, and I just didn't really know. I knew that couldn't be right because I didn't see that in my family. My mom, my dad, whatever they did, if they was fighting it out, they never let us see it, never let me see it. And I grew up in that nuclear family with the mom and the dad and
Me too. Right.
yeah, and the brother and the sister and the dog, and middle class Black, slightly middle to high class when we moved from New York, and we came down here to Virginia with money, and it just steadily got worse and worse, which made my father even worse and worse. And I think watching him become an alcoholic and emotionally abuse and verbally abuse my mom was, it laid the foundation for me to say, oh, I'm not supposed to say anything, because she's a very quiet individual. She's not going to fight back. She's not that type of person. Whereas I'm going to fight you, your daddy, your sister, your cousin, and your kids if I need to. But she's very quiet. And so he would emotionally abuse, and that's just horrible. Horrible.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
You know what? I think
Because
that
that breaks you down as the non-abuser. That breaks you down on a mental level first, to make you think that maybe I do deserve it, or maybe I did ask for this, and maybe it was my fault, but it's not your fault. It's their fault. They're the one that's wrong.
They feed on you. A lot of times abusers, they know the type of women that they go after a lot of times because they prey on low self-esteem. If you feel that you're dealing with some type of physical, if you're saying that I want to lose weight, when he argue with you, the first thing he's calling you is fat, Nobody
Mhm.
Right.
wants you, or
Mhm.
you got all those kids. What man gonna get with you with 4 kids? You know, it's a
Yeah.
lot
Mhm.
of things that they pull out of their arsenal to
Yep.
use.
Yep.
And
Right.
I witnessed this, and I had a friend of mine, and she got pissed at me because I told her that the boyfriend was with another woman. So
Mm.
this is how he tried to reverse it to her was, oh, now you know what, now your friend, he want me, now that dude, nah, I ain't like that, I don't roll that way, I don't. It was like he was trying to make it like I was trying to almost insert myself to break them up.
Mhm.
Right.
Mm.
And that was, so she started feeling a certain kind of way. She was still my friend, but she was distancing herself. And he was using that, he would use that type of tactic for even her straight friends and family because he wanted to make her
Isolated.
ostracize, isolate herself from everyone
Mhm.
so he could be
Yep.
the
Right.
sole person that she was dependent upon.
Yep.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
Hey,
That's
Cal.
what it. That's how they do it.
Yep. That's how it
Mhm.
goes. My
Mhm.
thing is, I'm glad that now the police are taking, this very seriously, because when this happened to me, there wasn't no stalking law or, anybody or the police wanting to know what happened. It was nothing. I had to literally have something happen to me in order to prosecute,
For
and
them
they
to
still
act.
never did it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hmm
Mm.
He
You
served
know
no
what?
time.
My friend that stays in Atlanta. It was a guy he was dealing with years ago. The guy was bisexual. He beat on girls he was with. He would fight the men that he was with.
Or
And
that,
when my friend would tell me this, I was like, wait, why the hell are you staying with this dude? The thing was,
right?
this guy
Mm.
had low self-esteem. He worked out in the gym all the time, but it was like he had like roid. Have you ever heard of the term roid rage?
Roy
Yep.
Ray. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
he would
On them,
have
on those
that.
steroids.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
he had broke out my friend's windows.
Ooh.
He would do crazy stuff. Now, I always told him about the guy. The guy died some years ago, but it was like he was so abusive, and he came from a family that, his stepfather abused him,
Mm.
Mhm.
abused his mother. So it was like he kept that same thing going. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
I think, and it crosses, it's not even just people that are abused are afraid. Like if it's a man being abused by his wife,
Mhm.
he's embarrassed to say that the woman is jumping on him
Mhm.
because he may not have came from a family that was fighting all the time. And this person, she may have came from a family that was quick to hit, quick to resort to physical violence,
Right?
the emotional verbal abuse. That verbal abuse lingers a lot longer sometimes because it makes you
Yes.
Yes,
second
it does.
guess
Oh
yourself
yeah.
a lot of
Yeah, it
times.
does. It does.
How many times do you have to be told that you're worthless before you believe it?
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
How
Right.
many times?
And
Hey,
your
tenacity.
inconvenience will get
Mhm.
you
Hello,
killed.
how are you, Piano?
Hi,
Hey,
baby.
How
how
you
are
doing?
you?
I'm doing well, and I'm so happy you're discussing this.
Oh, good.
It's
I
so
know.
important,
It
you know.
is.
It is.
Yeah, and so I just wanted to speak from my perspective.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
please.
So I know a man has never laid a hand on me. However, he came in my home. He actually got closer to my child. Never did anything to my child. But because he was so close to her, I let him stay.
Mm.
Mm.
So I think there's a lot of Black women that just want companionship and help.
Mhm.
True.
True.
And is willing to deal with whatever
Yeah.
Right,
Mhm.
to happen.
True.
right. No sex. We didn't sleep in the same bed. Nothing like that. Like, I knew the relationship was garbage,
Right.
Mhm.
but I stayed because of my daughter and my fear of daddy issues.
Mm.
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 Lord, who don't got daddy?
Daddies.
Right. But as a parent, and I was wrong, because if you can't love the mother, then you don't need to be here. And what was I teaching her?
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And I learned that. But
Mhm.
that's why I put in the chat emotional abuse. Like, just if you
Yeah,
pray on the idea that, you know, you want to be a family. And as Black women, we want to be a family,
we do. We do.
Yeah, we do. We do.
you know? And so, and just to be totally honest, her father has some drug issues,
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Mm.
yeah.
That
you
plays a
know,
definite part,
But
right?
it
Mhm.
plays
Yes, it
part. Yeah,
does.
it does. It plays a part.
a huge part. And, but I had to learn I have to stand alone. And that was very
Yeah.
hard for me.
Yeah.
It is hard. It's hard to
Yeah.
get your strength back. It's hard to get in tune with yourself because you let somebody else control yourself for so
Mhm.
long or for however long you did. And now you got to find you again. And it's hard to take that first step to say, this is who I am. This is who I'm going to be. And I need to take these steps to assure that my daughter is fine, we're
Mhm.
fine, and we making our own family.
Yep.
That's
Correct.
right.
Yep.
You know,
But
because there's outside judgment,
mhm.
Yes. It's true.
Oh
It's
yes,
true.
you know, so it doesn't matter. I'm college educated, you
right.
know, and I took care of myself. And so perhaps I made the wrong decision, but became pregnant.
It happens,
Yes, but stood alone
right?
and
Tenacity.
house, a good career. So
Mm.
a new man, this is finally, you know, the completion.
Right.
Oh
And
wow.
then unfortunately that wasn't,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
you know.
just never worth it. And when you get into it, it's almost like you're waking up like, how the hell did I get here?
Yep. That's true.
Well, no, I knew how I got here, Lori.
Hmm.
I wanted the completion,
Right, right.
Yeah.
you know, and so I had this beautiful child who I prayed for all my life,
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We do
you know.
anything for our
Mm.
babies.
Mm. Yep.
Absolutely. But then you meet the wrong person.
Yes.
Hmm.
And you got to be aware that you don't take that out on your children because a man is pissing you off.
No, no, no. No,
No,
there's
I'm
no abuse
saying
in my household.
sometimes that happens. That I've seen women that have a man that ain't about anything that's abusive. She starts to have that frustration with the kids and start transference. You know,
Yeah.
Hmm.
not
Yeah.
directed towards him, but you're anything the child does, it sets you off because you're frustrated with this man being abusive.
Yeah,
Yes, I have
absolutely.
seen
No,
that.
I have seen, well, I've seen it on TV. I
Mhm.
haven't experienced it, you know. But that's why I wanted to mention emotional abuse, because there's a lot of us out here that
Oh
told us we weren't good enough. Like, how many times do you see on TV about Black women
yeah.
that can't find a mate?
Yep. Mm.
Mm.
You got to complete yourself.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
don't
You
have
got.
Yeah,
to
you
for a
do.
man.
You have to be happy with yourself. That's why I went to therapy. I'm happy with myself. I love Andrea Lynch. I'm in love with her.
All right.
It could
Right.
because you have
No,
to know that you are
Yeah.
enough.
100.
Yes.
It is hard to take that
absolutely.
first step.
No,
Hey,
absolutely.
panel.
I've been by myself. My daughter and I are fine. I'm by myself, but I just wanted for the women that were out there, you know, that may have experienced that. That's a good
Mhm.
conversation with the domestic violence, because
Oh yeah.
Yes.
sometimes
Yeah.
they don't have to put their hands on you.
Yes.
They just have to sell you a dream.
Mhm.
Oh, so he was a sweet talker too.
Hmm.
Man, that child, the one now, mine wasn't even a sweet talker. He was just, I think I was so scared to make him upset because he was so volatile and unpredictable. So
But
I
what
was
drew
scared.
you in, Lori? What drew you in? Why even
You
let
know,
him
I've
in your world?
always been a sucker for the underdog. And he was so, I mean, now I had just had this baby a couple years. So I was 16, 17, and I've got this child, and I'm dealing with all that. I'm getting excelling in school, but everything else is draining me. And
Hmm.
he's, he's been real nice, and I knew him from the area and whatnot. And so I kind of, you hear bad stuff about people, and girlfriends will say, "Girl, don't mess with him. He ain't nothing. Oh no, don't mess with him." And I felt like, oh wait a minute, that's not right. No, we're gonna prove him. We're gonna prove them wrong. The
Yeah.
problem is when I met
Yep,
his
been
mother,
there.
I met his mother, and the first thing she said to me was, "What are you doing with this devil?"
Mm.
Oh
I
wow.
was like,
Oh, oh, oh,
and
wow.
dumb me is
Girl, it
thinking,
was time to
that's not
run.
very-
At
I
that
Thank
know
point.
it.
you.
Dumb me is thinking that's not very nice. Why would you say that about But I guess you done raised him, so you know his ass. That perhaps I should have listened. She was the one who told me I need to leave. Gilhead. That was right before he cracked the windshield.
Right, but what I
Wow.
heard was 16 and 17. You were still a child.
Yes, I was. I was 14 and pregnant, and I had turned 15 in October, and then that January I gave birth to my big old little chocolate baby with this beautiful curly black hair, jet black, and these little black eyes just staring up at me, looking at me, sucking his thumb. Hey, hey,
They
girl.
just make you fall in love with them, girl.
Yeah, I
Hey,
was
cute.
scared of this baby. This baby looked at me like, I know who you is, nigga. Don't try to go nowhere.
Right.
Hey, Velma.
Hey, baby.
So,
You
I'm
baby.
gonna give you, hey everybody, hey Lola, hey Andrea, my rebel
Hey.
baby, and Miss Tenacity. How you guys? Hey everybody in the chat.
Hello, Miss Q.
So, just a quick update. He keeps blowing up her phone,
What?
telling her she better let him know where she is, and I've made it clear when I was talking to her, he's not allowed here. He's not allowed to know where you are. He's not allowed here. What he told her, what she was doing was ignoring his calls, and he told her if she didn't answer the phone, he was going to hurt her family. So she answered the phone and told him she wasn't coming back and all this. But like I told her, I said my great aunt told me when I was in my relationship, she would tell me, because like I told you, I didn't tell her everything, but I told her enough.
Yeah.
And she was like, "You're not sick and tired of those blows. You're not sick
Right.
and tired of them." And
Miss
I'm
Q,
like,
I'm
"Yeah,
sorry
I'm
to
tired of
interrupt.
them."
Is this your child? Because I
No,
came in late.
no. This is a coworker of my daughter. She's 18. My daughter's 18. Her coworker's 18, and she
Okay.
asked me to help the young lady, so I'm trying to help her.
Okay.
And I told her the same thing that was told to me. You're not sick and tired yet. When
Yep.
you sick and tired of being sick and tired, that's
Yep.
it.
Oh
You
yeah.
know,
Yeah, that's so true.
So true.
I was told that, and I didn't know that. And I know when her ex-husband hit her the first time, she was like, she took him back, and
Yeah.
and she told
I'm
me about it. And I
sorry. I
said, "No,
love.
you're not tired. You're not tired of it. You're not tired of the abuse. You're not tired. It was more mental and
Right.
emotional, and then it was
But
physical
she
a
might be
couple of
tired.
times.
Is she pregnant?
No, she's not pregnant. No.
Thank
Okay,
God.
but does she have like support besides you guys? And thank the Lord for you guys. But her
Oh yeah.
family, does she have
Her
support?
to a degree, her family, her mom took her baby, so she doesn't have to worry about the baby. But
Is it his baby?
no,
Oh, good.
no,
Okay. Exactly.
no. But he's
And I'm sorry I
older.
came in late. Tell that girl run. Block his number.
Yeah, but see, the
And
only
Q,
thing
you
is
know what?
he knows where she works. That's the
Gentilio,
only problem. Huh?
that's the thing. Gentilio just said to have her turn her location up too
She
on her
did.
Yes.
cell phone.
I told her
Yeah.
that when she came through my
Just
door.
turn the whole phone off. Get her like a Walmart phone.
Right.
For real. For real.
I told her to turn that off when she came in. Like, turn that off. And
I
she
get it.
did.
She's not tired. That's because she doesn't know. At 18,
You don't.
Yeah.
But you know
Yeah.
what she said? She's only 18, but she's been in 2 other domestic abusive relationships. This is her
Oh.
third
okay.
one.
Wow.
So, but she's right. So unfortunately, she's already harmed.
Yeah.
Not
But
broken, just harmed. And so
Yeah,
you said her child is with her mother.
yeah. Her mother put her
Okay,
out at
yeah.
15. Her
So
mother put
if
her out at 15 and told her she was
right,
not going
so
to
if
help
her
her,
mother
but she'll
can't
help the
step
baby.
up, if her mother can't step up, and I'm sorry for over talking, but as a grown woman with a degree who had a child and knows how hard this is,
Right.
but one was enough to know it just needs to be myself and my child.
Yeah.
So if her
Well,
family can't stand up for her, please tell her. Have her listen to this broadcast.
she was
Throw
listening
that
to
phone
it. She
away.
was just listening to it until she went upstairs to take a shower. But like I told her my whole story when I was in college, and my senior year is when I decided I had to leave him. I
Yeah.
had finished all of
Mm-hmm.
my coursework. I just didn't get a chance to walk in my graduation because I was like, I gotta go. I can't stay.
Yeah.
Right.
It's either me or
Mhm.
him.
Mhm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I had a child and I was pregnant, and it was just like, no, I have to go. This isn't working. Um, and my kids mean more to me than my
Yep.
life.
That's
So damn
right.
Right.
sure means more to me than his.
But
Yeah.
And
I pray she learns it now at 18
hmm
because I was well into my 30s. College educated, good career, had everything, but just unfortunately met a man that showed me attention. And because I was still broken,
Yeah.
I learned at
you know,
23. I learned at 23. At 23 is
right.
when I realized, that's when I had my son. And I'm like, okay, he's more important than this idiot. It's not, well, I was
Absolutely.
turning 24. I was almost
I'm
24. I
so
said, he's
glad you
more
learned in your
important.
20s because I learned in my 30s.
And I knew
Long
I
as
had
you
to go.
learn though.
Yeah, as long as you learn. And I'm hoping she gets it. And, I not sugarcoating, but, my daughter used to come home and tell me, yeah,
Mm.
mom, she came to work with a black eye, her lip is split, this, that, and the third.
Oh
And,
wow.
even she just told me, she said her manager knows to hide her if he comes up to the job because they've seen her come to work with black eyes and stuff. And I'm like, this
Mm.
not sit well with me. But
No.
she said she applied for her own place and she got it. But she's only, she's like, I don't know how I'm going. She said I can afford the rent. It's the utilities I'm gonna have a problem with. So I'm trying to do as much as I can for her.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And God bless you for doing that.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
we need to empower our young women. As I hear this, like my heart hurts because, like I said, until my daughter came, I would take care of the men, make sure
Mm.
they were well taken care of, and they never
Right.
provided anything but perhaps you know what in return.
Right.
Oh no,
Hmm
ma'am.
Mm-mm.
Mm.
Right. But there's a lot of young ladies like, like myself, college educated,
Mm-hmm.
but just want that happy ending, so they give a little more than they should. They overlook
Right.
more than they should,
Yeah.
Right.
I
and I'm
had a
not saying,
friend that she wouldn't like if her boyfriend was still in bed sleep. She would not, and not that he required it, but she wouldn't get out the bed until he would wake up.
Jeez.
Mm.
Uh-uh.
But
see,
I've
Mm-mm.
been there.
No. No. Mm-mm.
Mm.
I've
I'm
been
like,
there.
I,
Mm-mm.
I, I, I've never been, even with homie, I wasn't that type.
yeah.
And he, that's why we fought so much, and like two dudes, because he was like, I don't get out this bed until I get out. Go to hell, you
Thank you.
know. And that he used to tell me, you caused a lot of this. You caused a lot of this because you don't listen. Then we just gonna have to fight then, my nigga, because I'm not going to listen. And he used to always say, if you just listen to me, do what I tell you to do, we won't have these problems. Well,
Mm.
that's not about to happen.
Right.
And then after a while, like I said,
Thank
I
you,
had to
John.
go. I had to go. But
Yep.
I told her, I said, you're gonna have to not show your daughter that this is okay.
Yep.
Because
Exactly.
if your daughter sees the abuse in your home, she's going to assume that that's how a man is supposed to treat a woman.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You
That is
know,
Mm-hmm.
true. That is true.
and
Yeah.
even though after I left my ex in college, up until today, and I left him in what 96? Was it 96? Yeah, I believe 96. And there have been guys that I dated. I was even engaged again, and my children over the years have only seen me with two men, and one of them I was engaged to. In as much, and I would date or whatever, but I never allowed men in my home.
Yep.
And that to this day, and the guy I was dating recently was not allowed here, you know, um, and he understood why. And it was a lot of circumstances that brought me to that point over the years, different things, nothing really abusive or but there was just situations that made me realize more and more you cannot have men around your children, and just seeing what happens to other
Oh
people's
yeah.
kids. I
Mm-hmm.
don't
Mhm.
I was not one of those people that every time I had a guy in my life, whether it was serious or just casual, that would
Mhm.
allow them in my house. Like, you just not
Right.
allowed here.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And this one guy that I met, nice looking brother, we lived in separate, he lived about 25 minutes, 30 minutes away from me, but his job was 10 minutes from where I live. And he, after we were talking for about 2 weeks, when I met him, we talked every day for about 2 weeks. And he said, well, I'm going to start just staying at your house during the week so I can get to work quicker and you stay at my house on weekends. And I'm like,
Oh no, I
say
don't
what
think.
now? I
Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
said, I have female, I have a female
Oh,
child.
oh
Mm-mm.
yes. Even with the boy children,
No,
we were
honey.
taught
Well,
you got
yeah,
to have
and
nobody around them
y-
children.
yeah, you see,
Mm-mm.
now see, I have a son that's, my son suffers from PTSD. He was in the Marines. I can't have no damn man up in here because he been and killed him in his sleep. I'm not gonna do it.
Mm-mm.
And he's not here. He doesn't live with me right now. But that nut, and I did that as I told one of the guys, I don't allow you in my house for your own protection. Because
Mhm.
one
Mm-mm.
elevated voice, my son blacks out.
Okay.
Right.
I'm looking out for your well-being
Okay.
because I know what I'm dealing with. I know what I'm dealing with. So
Mm.
Mhm.
I'm not going to put you or my son in no fucked up situation. But even
Yep.
Exactly.
before that, no people, no guys were allowed to spend the night at my house. Now I would be out. I'm out. My make sure my kids were good, but
Mm-hmm.
I personally did not. I just don't do it. And I said until I'm a complete empty nester, there is no man that's allowed up in my house around my children. And my children are
That's
now to the
right.
point where they can fend and take care of themselves, but you still are not allowed in my house. And one guy told me, well, the same guy, as a matter of fact, well, if I can't stay at your house, then there's no sense in us talking. And I said, no, and
Right.
I understand and appreciate it. I understand.
Okay.
I'm not mad at you.
Mhm.
Kick
Well,
rocks.
but
Mhm.
my ex boyfriend had a problem with my kids moved back home. He was like, the kids moved back home. I said, yeah. He was like, but what happened to us? The kids are home now. Sorry,
Mm.
Okay.
the
Period.
kids,
Hey, AG.
the kids are
And not
home.
that you really
Hey
want the kids in
everybody.
the house.
You know,
Right.
yeah, the kids are home now. We can go get a room. Kids are home now. Can't, nope.
You don't
Mm.
really want them there,
AG.
but they come before anybody
Hi,
else.
can you
Yeah.
hear me?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I
Can
can
you
hear
hear
you
me?
now, baby.
Okay. Hey everybody on the panel. I love all of y'all, man. And
Hey.
Hi.
listen,
Hey,
I'm gonna say
Lashana, good
this.
girl.
I don't care. Listen, I'm gonna say this. I don't care. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Who's that? Who's that? Ooh, what? Ooh. Okay. I want to say this. I know people like, okay, HG pops up. Oh, yes, I am. First, I want to say this. Bama girl, when I say I love you in your chat, your lives, you
Oh,
give me my
Thank
life.
you so
Like,
much.
I swear, like, you were God heaven sent. Your channel
Mm-hmm.
was God heaven sent. Okay. I am a
Thank
Bush babe, like I said. Nevertheless, you don't know which way this chat gonna go, and it's always inspirational. You know,
Mm-hmm.
And like I said the
Yeah,
other
you never
day,
know.
exactly. Like I said, since losing my son, I be needing, I don't watch TV, I don't nothing, but as a lot of y'all, I'm gonna name y'all when I finish saying what I want to say, but oh God, y'all give me my life. Yeah, people be like, you cannot make family and friends in the virtual. Yes, you
Yes,
can.
you can. Yes.
Like
Mhm.
y'all are
Man.
my
Right.
family. Like I
Yes.
really
Man,
feel
you
like y'all are
married.
my family. I love Q Robinson. Oh my God, she's so humble. You know what I mean? But she will
Thank
read
you.
a motherfucker. Okay.
Down.
Child, shit,
Don't
child,
ever get,
catch on a good day.
girl, girl, don't ever get it twisted. Okay. Now I want to say this. Oh, Rebel Star. Matter of fact, let me say this and then I'm gonna go down. When we get to vacation, damn it, girl, we gonna have to share Rebel Son, honey, because girl, that is my boyfriend in my head. Okay.
Well, if we turn him rebel, or if we let you have rebel, you have to make sure you keep him on his leash. Because
Yeah,
rebel
you
will
do.
start
We
to get
just
out
can't
and do
let you.
things he shouldn't do.
AG, listen, we just can't let you just get Rebel like that because see, Rebel is a whole handful. It takes two or three
Girl,
He's
girl,
he's
at the
under
same
lock and
time.
key.
Bama
Okay.
girl. So look,
No, enough
when
on
you
me
wait,
now.
look,
Enough.
when y'all was on your live the other day, right? I'm in the business. I'm cracking the hell up because Rebel Son gonna say, "Yeah, but Bama girl, you a little hater. Yeah, we got to keep you on a leash, bruh."
We
and
do.
Girl, I hate her and a cock
Just
blocker.
I'm a cop blocker
Yes,
too.
I am.
Oh,
I am.
yeah. I'll be
And
like, get
what?
him. I'll be like, get him, Bama, get him.
I
And
do
Yeah,
too.
what?
yeah, yeah. You're
I
not
No,
love
gonna
we have
be
to
a
keep him
threat.
under lock and key.
What?
He want to
Rebel,
go
you're
out
not gonna.
hoeing, and we're not finna have it.
Okay, you're
Rebel.
not gonna be a
He's my
whore in
little
these
brother.
streets. Everybody want Rebel. No.
He do. He's
Anyway,
my little brother. I done adopted him.
No,
Love
Rebel trying to get
what?
out and be fast,
What?
but I be
No,
Yes,
damn.
enough
Nana.
on Rebel. Okay, got it. Trying to get out. Trying.
I be
Don't
But
damn, honey.
Lori,
He
I
gonna
know
think I'm
Lori,
maybe
asleep.
y'all think he was
I
just
don't
born
require
last
much
week.
sleep.
yes, honey. We gotta watch
Mm-mm.
that Rebel. But Lori, I emailed you.
I got
Um,
it, baby. Thank you.
okay.
I
All right,
love
honey. But I want to say this: the topic y'all talking about tonight. Okay. First and foremost, I want to say this. Okay. To Tammy Cash, you're like me.
Yep.
I got abused twice. I don't take abuse. And
Yeah.
to hear all y'all stories that had to go through it and through it and through it, my abuse twice, two different guys, fucked me up. You know what I'm saying? So to hear
Mm-hmm.
y'all to be in it and in it, I like first of all, Bama girl, when you told your story, oh child, you had me over here crying. Okay. As if
Oh
I
my
want to
goodness.
no, seriously, I want to find that ninja. Okay. I just do. I
Mhm.
really do.
Oh
But
yes.
and then Lori, oh God, you are so strong, and to know that you went through it, like y'all are encouraging me. Listen, I don't have a dude, and that's by choice
Right. Me.
because I heard somebody. I mean, I watched somebody write in the chat about emotional abuse.
Yes.
I've been
Yeah,
through.
Taz.
I've been through major emotional abuse,
Oh
and this
yeah.
is why I'm not in a relationship now. Yeah,
You
I
great.
have a lot of dudes trying to date me and court me, but you're
Mhm.
not it. You're not it,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not it.
Mhm.
Y'all not it.
Mhm.
Y'all not it. I know my worth now. I know who I am.
That's right.
You
You
know,
Mm-hmm.
are
That's
bringing
right.
new
and
baggage,
es-
not no old baggage.
exactly. Especially when we were talking the other day about um the molestation with Coco. Matter of fact, I hope Coco 929 because I emailed her the wrong thingy, but I cashed after her as well. I hope she got it. Um, I kind of messed up the email the first time, but anyway. Um, but yeah, I like y'all through my son's death. I needed people like you guys. Like
Oh,
you understand? And
I
to
do.
hear all the abuse and how much you guys had to suffer through, it
Yeah.
Thank
makes
you, K
me
Train.
think
Good night.
But you know what? You're stronger
it,
than what you ever
Yes.
think you are. You are stronger than anything you could imagine. And
Right.
I've never suffered through a child's passing, and I am so very sorry, baby. You had to
Oh,
go through that.
Same here.
I can't even
Yeah.
imagine that. So
I can
you
imagine.
are strong in and of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely are. And sometimes we have to just take a break from the other sex or any sex and just learn about who we are and just
Mm-hmm.
center ourselves. That way,
Right.
if we do want to go into another relationship, and I don't believe everybody has to have a relationship to be happy. I'm
Yep.
just happy as hell by myself right now. And I'm not
Get a
bothering
dog.
nobody. Nobody's bothering me. And I'm
Right.
just happy. And I'm gonna go one more up on the guy who did all that stuff to me. He's family. I used to do the mom's
Good
hair,
night,
the
Earlene.
cousins, all of the
Thank you so
girls'
much,
part
love.
hairs. And I still see them from time to time. And I've actually, when his sister died, we were at the funeral together and at her wake together talking. And, and by then I had 3 kids. And so I was able to talk to him, and he was able to talk to me and explain to me why he
Thank you,
was the way he
Tenacity.
was, and
Thank
really
you,
apologize
Tenacity.
without looking like Willie Lump Lump.
Oh, you're welcome, honey.
So that apology means a lot, but I forgave him years and years ago because you wind up trapped in it.
And
If
you
you,
Yes.
carry that like a cancer.
Yep.
and I wanted to live. I wanted to live
Right.
without his shadow following me
Mhm.
around, watching my back everywhere I went, looking before I pop out the house like I'm, some kind of insurgent.
Girl. Hey,
Yeah.
Miss Juicy
Hey,
Reviews.
Miss Juicy.
Hi, Bama girl.
Juicy.
Hi, everybody. Oh, my voice sounds crazy. I'm sorry. Being on these kids all day. Hi, Bama girl. I don't know if you can hear me good now.
I can.
Hey, gorgeous.
Y'all done made me drop
Yes.
out the bushes with this commissary that you're doing. Because it's kind of rings well, not kind of, but it rings really close to home. February 18th, 2010, I lost my cousin who was 26 years old due to her boyfriend.
I did.
So sorry.
I'm sorry.
Now, thank you, y'all. But also, too, people have to understand when you're abused, it don't just affect you as a person, it affects your kids,
Yep.
it affects your family, it affects your work
Right.
life. It affects everything, you know.
Right.
That's true.
Because what happened with my cousin, she was murdered in
Oh
her
my
house.
God.
And her mother was there, my aunt was in the house, and her oldest daughter witnessed it.
Oh no.
To this day, her children, you could tell that her children just like they're not the same. They're not the same kids.
Right.
And it's like even with me as that happened, I kind of like distance myself from dating.
Yeah.
And you know how you always say that they always tell you, oh, never say never, never say never, never say never.
Oh, I hate that.
I was like, because of when I lost my cousin, I had to go, me, my mother, and a few of my other family, we had to identify the body. So it kind of took like a shock factor. So from me even experiencing that, it put me in a different atmosphere from even dating anybody or even trying to get really into it, because I did the marriage thing, I did all of that, so it wasn't like I was missing anything,
Yeah.
like I'm not missing anything. I already was married to my oldest children's father, so I'm just like, okay, I done dealt with that. I don't need to do it no ancient men and stuff, like, so
Right.
because of that, I probably have like a booty call here and there.
Right.
Okay.
Hey, I'm good for that.
Well, y'all know how that goes when you got needs.
Oh, I am good for that.
Ain't nobody saying nothing over here, girl.
You will not judge, girlfriend. Not at all.
Nope, not at all.
Ain't no judging. Ain't no judging.
No
'Cause,
judgment. No judgment.
you got to get it scratched. So
Yeah.
Right.
I even when I got with my youngest child's father, and he started off nice. Then it started with I had some stuff going on, cause with my family, you know how sometimes you and your family they are not getting along at some time, and y'all go through your own thing. So he kind of took it. It was like he was a knight in Shining, like he was a knight coming to save everything. Next thing you know, he started jumping in my face. Now I'm pregnant with my youngest, so he using my pregnancy as weakness, and plus I was high risk as well. So
Okay.
as a female, when you have either witnessed some type of abuse and then you're like, oh, that's never gonna be me. I'm not gonna have that happen. Then when it happens to you, it's a whole different ball game.
Oh God, yeah.
That's right.
It's a whole different ball game. So sometimes you have to be really in tune with that. You gotta be because you say, oh, you try to look for the signs, you really don't see the signs.
You don't.
Until you really deep dig inside of it, you be like, wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
That's
so true.
Cause I will be the one like I wish a nigga would.
Okay, Tammy.
Oh yes.
I got a pot of hot water on the stove. I'm ready for him.
I know that nigga ain't gonna try. I know he ain't gonna try. Shoot.
And the thing was because I was so like hurt by my cousin, losing my cousin and seeing what happened with her situation. When it was my situation, it was like everything turned off. All my knowledge, everything how I think it was turned off.
Right.
And I'm just like, wow. Now I could be potentially in a situation where I could lose my life. Or my kids are trying to protect me because I'm pregnant. They could get hurt or they could go to jail. You know, and it's so crazy because a lot of women go through that. Where or you so ashamed of your experience, you don't tell you try to cut off your friends.
Yep.
You try to cut off your family. You try to cut off your coworkers and stuff like that. You start looking at yourself like, oh, it's my fault, it's my fault, it's my fault. And really it's not you, it's him. Something's wrong with him. But after I got it was like a whole turnaround because I was plotting and planning. After I had the baby, I said, okay, you want to keep jumping in my face. You want to call me names. You want to do this. You want to do that. You want to keep constantly bring me down. I said, okay, I got a trick for you. I wound up calling, what's the number? It's a domestic violence number. Leaving paper trails.
Exactly.
I started leaving paper trails. I marked on my calendar the day I wanted him to leave my house. That's another thing too. With a man who's going to be there, he don't move into your stuff. Y'all move into something together. So,
that's true.
all of the things I did right in the beginning with my oldest kid's father, I did wrong with my youngest kid's father. So it was just like, girl, what's wrong with you?
Well, I mean,
so but you live and you learn.
Yes,
you do.
Sure.
And like I said, I made my paper trail. I started whenever we start arguing, I call the cops. Making a paper trail because anytime I was like, if he act crazy, there's proof now.
Yes.
There's proof now. Whatever you want to do, how you want to play it. I'm playing chess now because now I had to take back my strength.
That's true.
And so pretty much I want to tell him to leave my house. I want him going down to get a restraining order and stuff like that. And he after a while he seen I wasn't playing. He seen I wasn't the weak, feeble female that he was dealing with. When we got together and while I was pregnant. I started getting back to myself. I started saying like, look, I deserve better. I need better. And he wound up leaving. We wound up, going to court and They told him like you can't come around, you can't do this, can't do that, and everything. So far we just work together as far as co-parenting, but
Mhm.
I have more control over that as well because I don't want the toxic energy around my youngest because
Right.
that feeds onto a kid, and you don't
Mhm.
want your child to be immune to certain things. And I had to look at it in the perspective. I have a daughter that's about to be 18. What I'm
Right.
doing to her, the same thing goes for my son. You know, if I'm showing him that I'm being a weak woman, is that what he's gonna look at? Is that how he's gonna treat women? Like it's like a whole thing that you have to take in consideration. Like you're going through something, but other people are watching and they taking in with it, and they learn from that. So
Right.
I swear, it
Mhm.
was like a whole testimony I had to go through. Like, okay, I got to get this together.
Yeah.
Let me get this together.
Right. Right.
But yeah, I just wanted to come on and say, like, if you are able to get out while you can, please get out while you can, because everybody is not as fortunate as myself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Some people they leave here like my cousin did, and you don't want to never go through that because you are leaving people behind, you know, who love you, who care about you, who you're worth more to them than you think you are, and you just have to take back your power because that's what they do. They try to break you down. They try to break you down. They try to enclose you. They try to make you cut off your family, your friends, everybody who care
Mhm.
about you, everybody who could see that they're not who they are for you, and you don't see it. So if
Right.
you can start planning, if you have to plan out,
Yeah.
and try to get out as you can. And unfortunately, because of the environment that we're in right now, because of the pandemic, a lot of people are going through a lot of stuff right now, especially
Right. Right.
Yep. That is true.
Mhm.
not just with the adults, there's children,
Yes.
Right.
there's
Thank
babies.
you, Angie, for the cash app, baby.
So it's just a messed up situation because you don't know how someone is living right now during all this, and
Yeah.
I just I'm all for the sister unity and stuff like that. So, but just if you can get out, please execute it because
Right.
it's not worth losing yourself or losing your life for
That's
Right.
somebody
Amen.
who
That's
don't
right.
who don't give a damn about you. You have to know that you're worth something.
Mhm.
Right. And
You
you
know,
are enough.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
You are enough.
yeah. Look
mm.
at yourself in the mirror and say, "I love you. You are worth something." If
Yep.
That's right.
it is,
Oh
you
yeah.
know. And I thank y'all for sharing your stories, and
Oh, you're
it
welcome,
brought life
love.
into me. It brought life into me. Thank you, Bama, for allowing me to come on your platform.
You're welcome.
I normally
You are more than welcome.
I'm always in the bushes, but thank you so much. God bless. Y'all be safe.
God
Um,
bless you too, baby.
Yes,
thank
dog,
you.
baby.
God bless you.
And thank you for the email. I emailed you back, sweetheart. You better stay in touch with me,
Who are you talking to?
AG.
Oh. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I'm going back into the bushes. Probably
Okay.
but God bless
Thank
everyone.
God
you
bless you
too,
too.
love.
You too,
Okay.
babe.
Y'all, we've been on for 3 hours and 7 minutes now.
Yes, we have
Ooh,
done an
Lord have mercy.
extremely strong testimonial
Yep.
/ just a powerful live today.
Yes,
Yep.
Bama.
Yes.
I
Yes.
Yeah.
And,
my
and,
hat
this,
is
and there was
always
a
on.
conversation that needed to be had.
Yes.
Yes. Q, stop saying it when I say it.
I think you reached out to a lot of people from the
Oh God,
conversation,
yeah.
you ladies' experiences. You have reached people. This right here has made some women make the decision to leave.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Right. And that is the ultimate goal.
Yep.
If you can get away, run.
Yep.
Run. because you're running for your life, baby. You are running for your life.
It is quite possible.
Yes,
Quite
because you don't never know when the next blow to the head
yeah.
will kill you. When the
Yes,
I mean, you
ma'am.
don't know. You don't know.
Or you not be here for your kids to see them turn 18.
That's
That was
right.
Right.
that was
Ayana,
important towards me.
You know
I'm
what,
sorry,
y'all?
guys.
I was gonna tell y'all that we had a story here that made I think it made national news. It was a little girl named Malia.
Julia Davis.
And you know
Yeah.
the guy that, because I knew people that knew that guy, and that guy was abusive to that baby's mother. She kept him around, and it was like the abuse turned to the children because
Mm.
you kept this man around.
Using too though.
You know, you kept the man around, but he displayed these characteristics of being, he was an abuser. So
Right.
he, you know, killed that little baby because a friend of mine did he was the funeral director and he did the funeral. And you know, that's something when your child has to have a closed casket because they can't identify the remains. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
Wow.
That's sad.
That's
I
sad.
just, yeah, I couldn't imagine having to the what I would go through if I had to bury my child because I allowed the wrong man into my
Yep.
home.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Make me too.
Yep.
And just to know that someone that I really wanted to be with, I allowed in my house, and as a result, my child is gone. I
Mm.
don't know if I could live with myself. Like, how can you live with yourself knowing that? I
Yeah.
couldn't. I wouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
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 But
I wouldn't be able to.
That's true.
And I've come across people that have done that. Now, when AG was on, she said something that made me think about my cousin. Now, my cousin, I told you that I grew up in the house with my aunt and uncle, and I had two cousins, a boy and a girl. So my girl cousin, none of us grew up around domestic violence. You know what I'm saying? We didn't see
Right.
that. But she was in a relationship that had domestic violence for years, even after
I'm gonna get you, Tammy.
even what?
I'm talking to Tammy.
25. And so she, you know, what she would do, she knew I was in one and she knew what I wasn't going to accept. And he was, you know, she would hide the fact that he was abusive to her. So once we found out, I remember she calling me, and knowing some of the people we grew up with, we had, you know, you had those friends that you called, look, hey, I got an issue I need you to handle. You know, you had those friends.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Right.
you know, she was like, can you get such and such to come and handle this? And so as I'm like calling this one friend we grew up with that I know that would handle the situation. But like I said, now, once you start this train, it's in
Right.
motion. We can't stop it.
Right.
You
Right.
already know
Right.
he's not
Right.
stopping.
Right.
And, you
Till
know,
it's
she
done.
yeah, and she was like, well, no, give me a minute. You know, I don't want, because I already know what's going to happen. Yeah, but you can't make that call to say, I need y'all to get this dude up off of me. And then, you know, you call that person and you want him to stop. This dude wasn't going to stop. Like, I've known him from elementary school. I know his behavior. I know how he is. He wasn't going to stop. As I said, before you even want to take it that far, you know, you have to be sure that you want to go through with it because, you know, when you are in that situation, like she's in a situation and she can forgive him a lot easier than I can.
because she
I
loved
have
him.
nothing invested to forgive his ass for. You know what I'm saying?
I'm getting it. I'm
You
putting
can
it
sit there and say, don't hate him, don't come after him, don't do this, but I don't have to like him.
Right.
You know, I don't have to like them. And it's like, you can't listen. You don't listen. I said this and I said, okay, you forgave him for beating your ass. I didn't forgive him. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
And so if you go on the, you know, and so she's mad at me. I'm like, well, how about this? Don't call me the next time you beat your ass. Let's
You
play
got
that game.
to. That's how you gotta be.
Yeah, don't call. Because I'm not going to like them. I don't have to.
Period. You don't.
Because you don't love him like she loves him.
Exactly.
Right.
And you're not gonna put up with their bullshit like she putting up with.
No,
And
you
then
know,
you've already walked down that road. So no ma'am, absolutely not.
and then years later, y'all still can't get over that? Nope, sure can.
Mm-mm.
Have no
Okay.
intentions to, not going to, you know. So
And my family is like that too. With my
yeah,
with my situation, they can't get over it.
yeah. And why would we? You know what I'm saying? Now, what if you would have went back to him? They would have
Oh
hated
girl,
the sight of him and would have had an attitude
exactly.
with you for letting them back.
That's right.
So you know we can't, and that's another reason why when I was in that situation I didn't give all the details to my family, because as I said, I wasn't sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I knew I wouldn't.
Okay, Andrea.
Right.
So it was no sense in me trying to what I'm running to my family for, when all I'm gonna do is run back to him. There's no sense in dragging your family into that mess if you're not gonna be strong enough to walk away, because you drag your family into it, something goes down, somebody gets hurt, somebody goes to jail, someone winds up dead, just for you to turn around and go back to that same person, and everything could have been avoided. So I wouldn't even put my family in that situation.
That'll tear a family apart. That
It
tears family
would.
apart.
Absolutely.
Tammy, let me see. Has your experience caused you to overindulge your oldest daughter with precautionary tales? N- no, because what I do is when she would bring a guy home, I would put the fear of God in him, because I'm going to get a pistol and I'm laying it on the table and make him sit there and stare at it and tell him what's going to happen should he ever even think about disrespecting her in any way. But she's the type that she's kind of like me. She won't deal with much, so she'll be like, mm-mm.
But why is Tammy Cash? Why is Tammy Cash saying, "Is this TMI?" when this is concerned? No, this can never be too TMI. This is people's lives that are on the line. No, this is not TMI.
Mm-mm, no, because there's not
keeping
actually
secrets
there's
has
not
always been
enough
a
information.
problem.
With our Black
Yeah,
family.
yeah. Keeping secrets, that's the problem that I've seen in our families, in mine. Secrets, family secrets, the things you don't tell or don't talk about. That has always been an issue. I come from one of those families where they're a little bit snooty. They can be kind of conservative. They didn't believe in having a lot of children. They believed in education and careers. They also believe in they could be violent, not towards each other. Well, sometimes towards each other, but they could be violent when it comes to defending themselves and their family. But they still was a little stank. It was still a little stank. Why are you staring at me?
I'm listening.
Don't. I'm sorry. Oh, this child
Why are you
annoys
giving
me.
her too much? Why are you
She
giving her too
sitting there
much?
staring at me, just
Leave
staring at
that
me.
baby alone.
She can look
What?
at you.
She can't look at. She looking at me now. She gonna make me smack her.
You know what?
It's like looking in the mirror. It get on my nerve.
I know
You ain't gonna be whooping our
she
kids.
is so. Let me tell you what that's her mini me. She is gorgeous. You understand me?
Oh, she is annoying.
Well, that don't take away from the fact that she's still gorgeous.
Whatever.
Thank you, Our Nation Name, for the cash out, Sweet Pea.
But you know what? Now this one, my youngest one, she's vicious. I'm not gonna lie, she's vicious. I think over the years, just listening to me and dealing with certain things has made her one of those ones that you just be like, I'm not even finna fuck with her. Like it's not even worth dealing with her. And she has this thing where if she's done with you, there's
Good
no
night,
repairing
PBP.
that. She can be done
Yeah,
with you and never look back. Like not even
yeah,
one iota looking back.
yeah. That's the way. That's the way. My oldest daughter is too. She
And she
She don't care, and she knows that once I spin this wheel, because I tell the guy, listen, we can sit here and play Russian roulette because I'm willing to die for mine.
you know,
Ooh,
quickly in a
ooh,
hurry,
I
willing to
let them know.
die or take you out. One of the
I let
others.
them know. We can sit here and play Russian roulette.
I don't mind taking you out or getting taken out over mine. It doesn't matter to me either way. We can do that.
That's
But
just how I am. I'm such a mother bear.
but see, this one,
Yes, you
I don't
are.
know. All three of my children,
Anybody ask you that,
they're
Rebel?
vicious. What does Rebel say?
Somebody, yes,
Rebel,
you are.
Rebel, ain't nobody thinking about you. You
That's
just
why I
remember
can't
your ass
wait.
can't do nothing in July. That's why you on lockdown now.
I ain't saying
Better be
nothing.
Already,
glad I'm not in Houston.
you've been on lockdown since it's been announced. I just want you to know.
Just better be glad I'm not in Houston. Have to watch your ass there too.
And I meant that, la 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 la. I listen every time I've had to say it. I meant it. I meant
Mm.
every word because one thing about mine, I'm willing to die. How about you?
Yeah, if you give birth to kids, I mean,
Hmm.
you should be willing to. That's just me. But I've seen women who've had kids that don't give two shits about their
And
children,
put the
and I
man
can't
first.
understand it.
And you're right, Rebel. They ain't got the nerve to put the man first. Child, please.
You
Yeah,
know,
I've never understood that.
I
Never have I understood that.
I would see like when we would go to the store, and it just irritates the hell out of me to see a woman with a dude that's like just a boyfriend of some sort, and he letting her use her whole Lone Star card to buy him all the little snacks and stuff he want. The kids are an afterthought. The kids there, you fussing at the kids, talking to them like they grown ups, but meanwhile you got this man that's using you just to lay up on you and get your Section 8 housing, and it's just all to have a man, and at what cost?
Hmm. I have never wanted a man that bad. I don't know, maybe something wrong with me, but I have never wanted one that bad ever. That I'm gonna allow you to sit up there and come before my children. That
Never, never.
ever.
And Lashana, I gave birth to 3 of them, and that's another thing. The guys that my oldest daughter, they know that her brothers don't play. Period. They do not play. So if their mama don't play, what makes you think their brothers are going to play? But at the end of the day, I'll take the rap because I'll do it willingly, voluntarily.
Okay.
I
Mm-mm.
would. That You will never have the opportunity to hurt one of mine and get away with it. I can promise you that.
I know that's right. I know that's right. And that goes for anybody. It doesn't even have to be somebody that they're dating. I have threatened to go up to my daughter's job. She has talked me out of it on more than one occasion because a manager or something, one of them likes to threaten the workers.
Yeah, I did the
Oh,
same thing with my oldest daughter too. She came home and
yeah.
told me how to was talking to her. Oh, really? She never met me. Okay, I must introduce myself.
And
And I
last
don't know
year
about that because you're
I
not gonna handle
did
it right. I'm
I
not.
did roll up in her job a couple times. I have gone up in there, and confronted the manager, not because of not because of her position at the job. It's how she was spoke to at the job. Or
Right,
no, I
right.
don't care what her position or what she does. That's how y'all handle it. But how you gonna talk to her and how you gonna treat her? No, we're not doing that. And it's always a double down once you come up in there. It's
Hmm.
no, I didn't mean it like that. Well, how the hell did you mean it? Because I need to know.
You did it like that because that's how she took it. She's very intelligent. She know how you were talking to her.
Yeah, but I want
See
to know
now,
how did you mean it? I want to hear what lie you gonna tell. If that's what
right.
you said, but that's not what you meant, then what did you mean exactly? Because that's not what you're saying and what you're saying you meant. They're not matching. So I want to know what you meant when you said
Uh-huh.
what you said.
Yeah, that part. Let me see how I will take it.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. And
Let's
Yes,
I've
do a
done that.
reenactment. Let's do a reenactment.
yes. Let's do a reenactment. Let me see how I would take it.
I have pulled up on teachers. I have pulled up on the principal. Especially with my son, I didn't have to do it as much. I think with him, I had to do it the most. I remember he was in was he in kindergarten? He was in kindergarten, and he grown now, but I remember he was in kindergarten, and I would fix him breakfast because he didn't like to eat in the cafeteria. So I'm dropping him off to go, and I'm on my way to work, but I noticed he left his book bag. So I knew when I would let him out, he would go to the library. So I grabbed his book bag, and I'm trying to catch up with him, and I'm walking into the library, and I see the librarian grab him by the hood of his jacket, telling him, "Didn't I tell you the books for you guys are over here?" And kind of slunk him, kind of pulled him back. And before I knew it, I had that dude all up around his throat with that collar. I'm like, "Don't you ever put your hands on mine." And the principal comes running. "You can't do that. You can't touch these teachers. Call the
And then
police. Call them.
call him.
Call the
Cause trust me,
police."
I know his ass going for putting his hand on my damn child.
Yeah, I had his math teacher when he was in the 4th grade. She wouldn't come out the damn classroom. She would not come out
Oh,
that classroom. I'm like, "How you failing my son in class, but you have him tutoring the students?" He was failing her class, but she would have him tutor the students. "You gonna
okay. Now make
explain this to me?" You know,
mm,
I'm just one of them mamas. I'll pull up now, and I can honestly say, when it came with my son, I don't know why it was him the most, but I know at least one teacher in each grade, or an assistant principal, or a counselor, or somebody through each grade up until high school, definitely through elementary school and middle school. I had to get with. I had to go off on. Maybe one or two throughout his high school career, but in middle school and elementary school, at least one teacher through each grade, I had to say something to.
yeah.
Now, is it all their fault? Hell no. I know my son. I know him, but you let me deal with him. You can't deal with him. Not like that. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-uh.
And not inform me. Now, I'm all for teachers discipline children and letting them know, where they're wrong and everything like that. But for you to fail my son and have him tutoring your other students, no, that was a problem I had with you, and I needed to take that up with you. But I knew when my
Exactly.
son was wrong. He was a class clown. So I knew. I
Yeah,
knew
I
I
was
had
a
to
class
handle him,
clown. Yeah,
but
I
I had to
know.
handle the teacher too.
Right. Because that sounds like a parent teacher conference was needed at that point.
Yeah, but she wouldn't come out the damn classroom. She said I came up in there with an attitude, so she wouldn't come out the classroom. She felt fearful. She should have probably. She
Oh
probably had
Lord.
every right.
Oh Lord.
Cause
Oh,
I
she
know
had every
me.
right, child.
Cause I mean, like I said, I know my son. His ass will get under anybody's skin. He's annoying as hell. So I knew he was a class clown. I had one teacher say, "I just don't like him." I said, "And I just don't care. He ain't here for you to like. He's here for
Right.
you
He
to
said,
teach."
"Hey, can you do it?"
I said, "Now, if you have a problem with that, let me know. I'll deal with him, but you still gonna teach him. I just don't like his attitude. He's a class clown." But that was, when kids are bored, most teachers teach on an even playing field. Some kids are above, some kids are below.
Right.
He would get through with his work and annoy everybody else in the classroom.
I was a class clown like that too, Q.
You
Because
think really? Who the
No.
hell would be shocked behind that, Rebel?
Your angelic self.
yes, little angelic, and then yes, touched by an angel.
Angel my ass.
Now, my ex called me a demon from the lower levels of hell, of course, but
Just about to say, which one? The one that
Hell's
was
angel. Hell's angel.
yeah, that one that was cast out.
Well,
I think has the Sandman got Lolo,
Lolo sleep?
y'all Lolo, and hit them Z's. Lolo counting some sheep right now.
Did
Or
Lolo
somebody.
fall asleep? You know she'll go to sleep on her
Lolo,
ass
we
in a
go out
minute.
of town, you move to Houston, you ain't driving.
Oh hell no.
You better not let Lolo drive. She can't drive to the stop sign. Look at she's sleeping now. Lolo.
Rockabye baby.
That's a shame.
That's a shame. Lolo is gone.
I can't. Now we gonna end the live. Go ahead on. Let Bama girl go to bed. And since Lolo already asleep, child.
Somebody throw a cover over.
Okay.
Y'all. We're gonna put her to bed. Go on, throw the cover over, y'all.
A cover over. Yeah, make sure she comfy.
Night night, Lolo. Good night.
Sweet dreams.
Okay.
Rebel.
Y'all, I really enjoyed this conversation that we've had.
Hey, I'm sorry.
tonight.
One second. Rebel.
What's up?
There is a lounge that has opened in Houston. It's called Cleo's Lounge. Have you heard of it?
No.
Okay, it's new. It just opened, and I believe right now they're only doing curbside pickup because of the Ronas. But keep an eye out for it, and whenever you get a chance, go by there. It's owned by a friend of mine, but it's called Cleo's Lounge. Now, don't ask me where in Houston. I can't tell you.
Look, I'm pulling it up. I'm seeing if it'll come up.
I know it's on Facebook, but it's brand spanking new.
Cleo's Lounge. Okay.
You said what?
I'm trying to see if it's gonna come up. Cleo. This one's coming up. Okay, Cleo. Oh, it's Cleo. Is it CLE?
CLEO.
Oh, okay. I hadn't.
Well, honey, how was you spelling it, Rebel?
I was spelling Cleo. CLEOS.
Like I said, it's brand spanking new.
Oh, okay. Because this was coming up Orlando.
Hold on, let me see. Cleo's. It's called Cleo's Lounge. Hold on, Cleo's Lounge Tapas and Fine Dining. It's in Pearland. Okay, that's where
in Pearland. Okay,
yeah.
That's like on my side of town.
Okay, so it's Cleo's. You know what? I actually have the address. I see he posted the address. Hold on. It's at 9603 Broadway.
Oh, I see it right here on Facebook.
Yeah.
It's got like a gold. Oh, okay, I see it. It's got like a gold, like an eye or something.
Yeah.
And it's a star. Yeah, to Texas. Oh, I'll check that out. Broadway Street, because I'm off of I stay Southwest Houston, and that's close to he's close to the airport area. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know nothing about that. But yeah.
Okay. Is he family?
No.
Now she just said a friend of hers.
No, girl, I meant like gay family.
No, that's why I said no.
And that's why I was like, damn. You always you gonna keep me from getting some one way or another. Damn it.
Oh my God. I knew what he was talking about with his crazy ass. No, he's not. See, and then people wonder why we gotta put your ass on a damn leash.
Oh, right. Why you have to be on lockdown?
Well, I was asking for a friend.
Which one?
Friend.
Which one? Which friend?
You know what?
Himself.
Damn it, Bama. You always coming with a second question before I can think of a friend name.
His alter ego.
Okay.
Okay.
The one that be walking up back and forth in and out that kitchen.
See, okay.
Doing that band cadence. You know, sit down, put their hips down.
That one.
Ooh, baby,
we know who we're dealing with.
Tonight was epic though, Bama, y'all.
It was. I enjoyed it. I enjoy hearing everybody's story, y'all. Y'all, please pray for Ness because she's going through.
Yeah,
and you know, I think with Ness, what she had went through, it manifests in her comedy. You know.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you a place of hurt, sometimes some of the comedians have some of the, you know, a lot of their backstories were abuse.
Yeah.
Look at Monique, you know, and when when Richard Pryor told about his upbringing, you know, a lot of those people had came from abusive homes, and you know, Monique was in an abusive relationship, and that made her comedy was that much better
Her
because
outlet.
yeah, it was an outlet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate everybody for coming on, sharing their stories. I appreciate you guys so much. You couldn't imagine how you guys make me feel. You just don't know. And I love it when we can come together and not talk about mess, but talk about what really matters. And this is
Right.
definitely a conversation that needed to be had. So I thank each and every one of you. Thank you so much, Miss Juicy, for coming on, Sweet Pea. Thank you all so much, AG, Tenacity, of course, Andrea, Lolo, let me put the bed. Q, who initiated it. Thank you guys so much. Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, Just.
If you leave me the hell alone.
The subject is heavy, but things need to be discussed openly. You are exactly right. You are exactly right.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, no problem, honey. It was my pleasure.
Yeah, I thank everybody too. I really do. I appreciate those who donated. Definitely is going to help me with her. That's definitely a
Yes.
fact.
Yes.
Definitely, because after some of the conversation we had, I do know some things that she is going to need. So I'm definitely going to help her with that.
Thank everybody who donated, who sent cash apps to Q. Thank everybody who sent cash apps to me. Also the super chats. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel and supporting Bama Girl, the Bells and Bows. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you so much, grown folks, for coming on, Sweden. Thank you, because it's good hearing it like from a different point of view. It's good hearing it all the way around the board. You know, we always love Rebel when he come through, honey, because he come through with a good laugh and some good commentary. Well, he's the best of both worlds. He's the best of both worlds, child. We got to love him anyway. We got to love him anyway.
Got to love him, but he's still our little problem, babies.
Yeah.
Why, thank you.
Look at why thank you. A little proud of it. Proud. Yes, that's it. Yes, that's it, Tammy. Yeah, that's my email, baby. On that note, y'all, we're gonna end this live for tonight. I will see you guys back tomorrow night. You guys say the same. Everybody be safe. Stay indoors. If you don't have to go out, don't go. If you do,
put a condom on.
Shut up.
A face condom, a mask.
Rub, go to bed.
Bye, y'all.
We ain't going to see you. Good night. Good night. Good night, everybody. Love you.
Good night.
Oh, wait. Q Robinson, I missed your cash app. Will you please drop it again? Okay, let me drop it right here, baby. There it is, boo. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Thank you guys again so much. Thank you.